Hey everybody, sorry about that earlier that I did not go live. I was not feeling very well. I still am not. I can't seem to remove the other live. I've gone into YouTube Studio, I've gone into StreamYard, I've gone into everything possible to remove it, but it won't let me. So hopefully by doing this one, it can somehow get rid of that one. But this is going to be a very short live, but I wanted to come on here and reassure people who might, not saying there are, but for anyone that might be a little bit worried, I'm just feeling a little bit under the weather. I've got a not a sore throat, but it just itches. So I'm trying my hardest just to take it easy because I've got a full on week ahead of me starting Wednesday, obviously, when I get paid, and then I can hopefully get some shit for my throat. I'm feeling a little bit stuffy in the nose. I haven't been around anybody, so it's not like I've got COVID. So get that all out of your heads if you're thinking that. But I would like to just say thank you to everybody who has, in one way or another, supported me while I've had my channel, whether it's financially support me or just to be in here and chat. I really do appreciate it. And I hope that going into next year, 2024, time goes quick. I'm hoping that it continues. My channel continues to grow. I hope I keep on bringing you guys content that you like. Again, I can't stress enough that if you see someone saying disrespectful shit about me, instead of showing me, just have my back, but don't put yourself in a situation where you yourself are going to then become a target. I say as if I don't know about it or I don't hear about it. It don't exist. I'm trying my hardest, like I said, just to be able to do some good. And obviously, like with having a YouTube channel, and the same, even if you don't have a YouTube channel, you've got to always take risks with what you say. If people don't like it, then that's their cross to bear, so to speak. If you're doing something that people like, people are going to kind of try and destroy you. And this year, I've had I've had several, amazing people on my panel with me to join me. But the two people that don't come into my lives, as far as I know, and participate in chat like my regulars do, and newcomers and all of that kind of stuff. What I've noticed is that the two people that have come in is Scott Russell Hill from Sensing Murder and Sherilyn Cadle. Now, I was very honoured to have both of them on my panel this year, and I don't regret having either one of them on here. I have copped a fair bit of backlash from having Sherilyn Cadle on here, but again, I don't care. This is my channel. This isn't your channel. To think that you can, I'm covering for you while you're away on holiday, and then I've just had someone on your channel that I shouldn't have had. No, this is my channel. I have on my channel and on my panel who I choose to. This is my platform, not yours to then start throwing bullshit around by saying, oh, this and this and this and this about people. You've got no right to disrespect me, who I choose to have on my panel. Because at the end of the day, you've got to remember persons or people that think that was a wrong idea and a wrong move. You want to know something? People who think it's a wrong move, that's your choice to think that. I don't care, because I'm not going to stop having on panel who I choose to have on panel. It's like me asking you not to talk about a particular case. You'll be fucking screwed. But I didn't have, Scott Russell Hill on here, and I didn't have Sherilyn Cadle on here to try and get a pat on the back and get donations or anything like that. I had them on my panel because I am genuinely interested in what they have to say. And I wanted them to, with Scott Russell Hill, it was like I wanted people to get to know him because he has always been my favourite medium from when I used to watch Sensing Murder when I was much younger. Not trying to make Scott Russell Hill feel old, because he's not. But when I say much younger, I mean younger than 41. He is someone I've always looked to when I watched that show, and I heard that he was going to be on there. I was really excited because he was always my favourite. He would say what he was really thinking, like if something upset him, he wouldn't be ashamed to say it upset him. If something scared him, he would be like, oh shit, And I only heard one other psychic throughout the whole series really grab my attention from the moment they were on screen to the moment the show for that episode would finish. And Scott Russell, who is definitely one of those people. Sherilyn Cadle is someone that interests me because of the fact that regardless of what she's done, I'm interested in any kind of author. And it was just a privilege to be able to have someone on here who wrote a book about a case I was interested in a lot, and someone who had actually met Chris Watts. I always wanted to know what would go through the mind of someone who's going to interview someone who is technically a serial killer, because he's killed more than one person. So I consider Chris Watts a serial killer. And I finally got to ask that question to someone who, even though, as someone loved to point out, I only had 20 people in my chat. But for me, that was the perfect amount. It didn't become too overwhelming for me or for Sherilyn. And anytime someone, even if they're just a YouTuber guest on my panel, I always give people the option to read the comments. If there is a question there that they do not feel like answering, they don't have to answer it. Because I'm not going to read out questions to people when they're on a guest on my panel and then have them feel awkward and not say, I'm sorry, but I don't want to answer that question. I always give people the option to read chat and answer, like I said, and answer questions that they, as the guest, feel comfortable answering. Because I'm not going to ask questions that are going to make people feel uncomfortable. No fucking way am I going to put myself or them through a situation like that. Now, I might be ridiculed and dragged through the mud with a hook, but I'm prepared to take that. I'm not going to have someone coming up on my panel and I ask a question like, did you and Chris shake hands? And that makes her feel a little bit awkward, thinking, well, of course we shook hands, like, duh. But I don't know. I've never spoken or been to speak to somebody in actual prison before. So I don't know those kinds of questions, but I'm not going to ask those kinds of questions of anybody because it could potentially make them uncomfortable. Like, was Chris shackled? Another question that could potentially be uncomfortable. I would rather know that the person who's on panel with me is answering questions that they feel comfortable answering. Hello to the two people who are not participating. That is completely fine. But just so I know, I don't see you, but I see that you're in here and I don't know who you are, but hello. Christmas is coming, as we all know. Yay. Who's excited for Christmas? Yeah, you can tell I'm excited, can't you? I will be doing a Christmas night special, I think, providing I'm not too full and I don't feel like shit after I spend Christmas with my family. And so long story short of things, I just wanted to come on here and make sure everybody's okay, see if anybody wanted to have a chat, see if anybody wanted to get anything off their chest, and if so, then I could drop the link. If not, then that's fine too. But if nobody wants to, then that's also fine as well. I just want people to understand that, like my channel is going to be different going into the new year. I am going to start making sure that people, when they come in here, they can only start commenting if they've been a subscriber for longer than 20 minutes. That sounds really bad, or should I change that? I don't know. I'm trying my hardest to make sure that whatever I do going forward with my channel, everybody in my chat, even if you don't participate, everybody is protected. Because at the end of the day, even if you don't participate in my chat and you are here for the wrong reasons, you're still counting as a view. So I thank you for that. Yeah, I don't have much else to say. I was feeling like shit this morning, this afternoon as well, when I was meant to go live. But yeah, I'm feeling okay now. I'm just trying my hardest just to, be good at fucking whatever I need to be good at, so to speak. But no, I'm just at the point where it's like I don't understand why people out there who have channels, and they disrespect and they rip to shreds other creators who do nothing but try and get on with their lives and their life. And there are people out there who think it's their responsibility or their job to try and destroy what someone else is trying to create. I have never understood that. I don't think I'll ever understand that, because at the end of the day, it's like you have a channel, and in your channel terms and conditions, so to speak, you say no bullying, but yet you bully people behind the scenes. You bully people because they choose to have someone on their panel or on their channel that you don't necessarily approve of. You want to know something? That's going to happen no matter where you go. You're going to go to the supermarket or the shopping centre, and you're going to go look for something, and then you're going to find out that the person in front of you got the last batch of eggnog, or they got the last turkey, or whatever. You're going to come across people that are going to constantly piss you off, but that doesn't mean that somebody who has tried to help you, has helped you, or anything like that, you think that you have the right then to treat that person like shit? This particular okay, I'm not going to mention channel creators' names or anything like that. But here's the thing I find most amusing, though, is the fact that this particular person who's gone on the attack of me for having Sherilyn Cadle on my panel has had years, months even, to mention this about Sherilyn. I'll always have her back. Well, unless she does something, whatever. I'll always have her back. The point I'm making with that, though, is that this particular creator has had months, okay, to go on the attack of Sherilyn. Okay? But they wait until she's a guest on my panel, and on my channel, I should say, before they decide to advertise their distaste for this woman. If that's not an aim at me, then I don't know what is. But like I said, it's just interesting how when like I said, there's always going to be content people put out there that you're not going to like. That's a given. Nothing's going to change that. No one is going to change the way they run their channel to suit the narrative of everybody. Okay? Because if I did that, I would never have a channel. But it comes down to the fact that I have on my panel, and I have in my channel, and my mods that I have are incredible, by the way. But I'm not the kind of person who is going to go with the narrative. I refuse to do that. Just because this person, this person, and this person, and this person has a problem with that person, that doesn't mean that I'm going to follow the bigger crowd and go, I've got a problem with you. That doesn't sit right with me. There could be about 20 people who don't like one person, but you want to know something? I'll be different from those 20 people, and I'll actually not necessarily embrace that person, but I'll get to know that person and form my own judgment on people. And that is something that a lot of people on YouTube need to start doing. Just because someone comes to you and says, this person's giving me crap, don't think because you have more than 1,000 or so subscribers that people are going to want to listen to your rant and rave about it. Because at the end of the day, I've had a lot of people give me shit over the years, and no one has had my back. All right? I have been ridiculed a lot since having my channel, and I mean a lot. And the funny thing is, though, is that I generally don't give a shit anymore, because I have my circle of friends, and I'm proud of each and every one of those people. And I'm not about to start changing how I run my channel because the larger group doesn't like it. Doesn't work that way for me. What works for me is knowing that my channel sticks up for the little person. None of this, but this group here can give you this, and this group here can give you that. I don't give a shit. I'd rather have one loyal friend than 20 fake friends. But that's just the way that I do things in my life. Because I don't have someone, knocking at my door, going, hello, posting, every day and saying, here's the script of what you've got to read through and rehearse and make sure you put out there every day. Every time I hit that go live fucking button, I'm putting myself in a situation where I'm going to be ridiculed and dragged through the mud, regardless of what I'm talking about. I don't buy my subscribers, regardless of what people think. I don't pay people to be here, regardless of what people think. I don't do anything on my channel, regardless of what people think. I do what I do on my channel because it's what I think. And this is called, as you can see, well, as you know, I thought I named my channel Tammy's Corner. No, because there's other Tammy's Corners, other channels out there called Tammy's Corner. Now, if you'd want to find my channel easily, you just type in my full name, Tammy Wells. That's it. And then you find me. And I guess what? I come up straight away. And that's pretty awesome. And I'm okay with that. But the thing is, though, it's not called Tammy and Co. It's not called that. It's not called Tammy and Friends. It's not called that. It's called Tammy Wells. And that's where it's very interesting how people think it's their goddamn right to tell me how I should run my channel. People getting shitty at me because I was feeling like crap earlier at the reason I didn't go live. No, I'll get well soon. It's like, well, why weren't you live? Because I wasn't feeling up to it. And I've tried to delete that other live and I can't. For some reason, YouTube won't let me, even though it's cancelled in my YouTube studio. It's cancelled on StreamYard, but through YouTube, I can't seem to get rid of it. So hopefully I can a little bit later. The time will tell. But no, and people judging me because apparently I beg for money so I can buy food. Regardless if that post has been taken down or not, and regardless of what people think, they mentioned how I only had 20 people in here. Like when I had Cheryl and Cadel on my panel. That's the perfect number for me. If it becomes too overwhelming, messages in the chat could get lost. They won't get my attention because I don't do super chats and super stickers. With having 20 people in here, for me personally, I thought that was a perfect amount because everybody, as far as I know, was acknowledged that day. And for those who weren't, I apologise. And it's amazing how I explain my issues as to why I say to people, hey, if you want to buy me dinner, donate to my PayPal, is because I don't, as soon as I explained my reasoning for that post seriously got taken down. Yeah, because at the end of the day, you don't know my story by walking into the random chapter you walk in on. Okay? There's people out there who are always going to judge you, and I know firsthand. There are always going to be people out there who are going to ridicule you for whatever you do in life. But you, as you, have a choice whether you take it on board and let it destroy you or let it crush you or anything like that, or you choose to look at that and someone goes, she's always begging for money. Because of the fact is, though, guys, it's that I don't have any other, okay, I do have another income, but that's every 2 weeks. I want to be able to do and be able to afford full StreamYard, but I can't afford that on my budget. So yes, and I found out the other day that I could keep money in my pay after a long time of trying to get a straight answer. Apparently, I can leave money in my PayPal for as long as I want. There's no time frame. And yet, when I first started my channel, I was told by somebody that I have to take it out before 2 weeks are up or I lose it and the money goes to PayPal or the money gets sent back to the donators. Now, that's what I was told by who I thought told me the truth. And considering that's part of their channel, they lied. I could have kept money in my PayPal for much longer and not feel as though that I'm under the knife to go, hey, you've got 10, you've got 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. You've got a certain amount of days to use that money in. So I appreciate that I now know the truth, that I can keep money in my PayPal for as long as I want, which is awesome. And the funny thing is, I've never noticed this before with PayPal, is the fact that you can choose. You can choose to get the money put into your account, as in your bank account. You've got a choice. You can have it done instantly and incur a fee, or you can actually have it transferred in a day or two and you don't get a fee. I've never, ever, and I mean ever, 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 seen that feature before, ever. And after speaking to PayPal at length, asking what I needed to ask, I found out that A, that's a new feature, and B, that like I said, I could keep my money in PayPal for as long as I want, which, in my opinion, is absolutely, positively fucking awesome. I'm stoked to know that. And so now I don't, if I get any more future donations, I ain't touching that money for a while. But no, I'm just, like I said, I'm looking forward to the new year, where it's going to be a whole new set of challenges for me having a channel. It is going to be fun. I'm going to, like I said the other day, if you're listening, I'm going to be doing the dial-up Tammy ones, where people can just, press the link or ask a question and stuff. They don't have to appear on panel or on camera, which I've always stated. But preferably on panel. You can disguise your voice if need be. Like I said, you don't have to show your face. You can just ring up and ask any kind of question, and I'll do my best to answer it, because I'm not a shrink. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I'm not your girlfriend. I'm not your boyfriend. I'm not whatever you think I might be. I'm just someone who wants to be able to help people. And there might be a time when I have a few people on panel with me, and you can then actually pinpoint who you want to direct your question at. But I will say this, though. Do not ring up and talk about your sex life. That is something I don't want to be able to help with. Sorry, but that's where I actually draw the line in the cement, if that makes sense. But no. Is anyone wanting to? Well, there's no one in chat. There's two people backstage in the background, but they're not wanting to say hello. So I'll say again, hello, hello. But yeah, I just want my channel to be somewhere where people can feel safe, secure, feel as though that they're going to be treated with respect. But it's YouTube. We can't expect miracles here. And if YouTube decides to ever listen to any of my lives, which I'm sure countless people have reported me, but I've never received a letter, email from YouTube telling me I've broken a rule. I will say this though, but what was I going to say? Shit, yeah. YouTube, StreamYard. If you happen to ever listen to this, I have some advice. Facebook has this feature where if you go live through Facebook, you can actually see who's in the background of your lives. The creator actually gets notification for that, or it comes up on the screen. I don't know if that's the case. It will say such and such is watching. My suggestion, if you do take any suggestions, which I've put this forward through I don't know how many times, allow people who go through StreamYard, allow people who go live through YouTube, allow anyone who has a channel to be able to see who comes into their lives. Because at the end of the day, YouTube is the one place where people that want to give people shit can linger and be anonymous. Okay, yes, you can go into a chat, you can change your name and all that sort of crap, and congratulations for trying to do that. But for those who just want to linger, you need to, YouTube and StreamYard needs to step up and go, okay, we have a lot of people still using the feature StreamYard to go live through YouTube. We, as a company, need to be able to protect those people who choose to go live through our streaming service. We need to bring in a feature where the creator who's doing the live is protected from that. Because if you're not going to start protecting people, this is why people go over to different platforms for streaming, is because they're probably protected on that. I don't know. But I, as a StreamYard person, whether I pay for the free StreamYard or the full extent StreamYard, it shouldn't matter. I, as a creator, should be protected to know who is lingering in the background of my lives when I see that the number next to the eye there for people watching. Since I pretty much started live, there's been a 1 there. Okay. Now, I personally think that I should know who that person is. That doesn't mean the person then has to step forward and go, "Oh, Tammy, it's me. Sorry, I just didn't feel like talking tonight." That's completely fine. But the thing is, though, I should feel protected. Okay, I don't know if that's one of my mods. I don't know if that's one of dipshit's people here spying on me. I don't know. So I've got to go through my entire life knowing that there's someone watching, but they're not saying anything. And that for me, it's a little creepy, to say the least. But yeah, I just want people to understand that it's weird when people do. Hang on. Like I said, it comes down to that there are people out there, like I said, we all have choices in life, whether we put up with people's shit or we choose to ignore it. But when there's a 1 there, like I said, that's been staring at me from the beginning, it's very hard to ignore that. And but yeah, I am going to, as of 2024, you will excuse me, you will see a new Tammy. You'll see a Tammy that doesn't put up with people's shit. You will see a Tammy that is going to try her hardest to be better than she was. Every time she goes live, she's going to go live a few days afterwards or whatever, but she's going to try and be better than the previous live that she did. She's going to try and bring you guys stuff that you want to hear. It might not be all the time. Like the other day, I absolutely adore who comes into my chat and participates. I adore it. It means a lot to me. It actually means that somewhere along the line I did something good. And especially when people return to my lives when I go live, that's an amazing feeling knowing that, hey, I did something good in my previous life that has drawn sorry, I'm getting text messages from people, so it's very funny when I'm trying to go live and they're messaging me with funny shit. But no, it's like I said, I try my absolute hardest to be there for absolutely everyone. And yeah, it's just like you try your hardest to do things and stuff, but then there's always someone out there who wants to try and crush you and try and destroy you. And the one person, and this is what's weird with me, okay, is the fact that there's always going to be someone out there that I'm trying to make proud of me. You know, whether it's just to have someone go, "Oh, your life was great," you know, that to me means a lot. It might not mean a lot to them because I might just think, "Oh, I'm just saying you did a good live." Like, geez. But when you don't get told enough that you've done something good, you take any fucking compliment you can get. Phew, it is very difficult. As Elvis Presley would say, and an image is one thing and a human being is another. It's very hard to live up to an image. And while I'm on YouTube, I don't have any ambitions to set a trend, an image like thing. No, I'm never going to do, like I said, I'm never going to do membership, never going to do super chats, super stickers. And there was a time when I was thinking I might do merchandise. Then I thought, no, fuck that. Who's going to walk around with a t-shirt that says my previous channel name, True Crime Discussions with Tammy? Who's going to want to wear a t-shirt like that? I can guarantee no one. And plus, I don't even know what kind of things I would want. People suggested before, you know, why don't you just do pens and like lanyards and fucking mouse pads and all that sort of shit. That all sounds great. But look at it now. I've changed my channel name. So, nah. So, no. I don't think I'll ever do memorabilia either. because I see it as kudos to the people I actually like that do, PayPal, super chat, super stickers, membership, GoFundMe's, memorabilia. Congratulations to the people who do that. That's great. Okay, but I think I said GoFundMe, PayPal, merchandise, super chat, super stickers, and memberships. That's on your channel alone. That is a 6 source income, regardless if you don't get a lot or you get a bit. That's still 6 different incomes you're making on your channel. And yet you sit back in judgment of me because I have PayPal, not just PayPal on mine. Tell me somewhere along the line where that makes sense, that you have your everyday job, YouTube, and on YouTube you have 6 different things. So you've got a 7 income coming into your pocket every month or every week or every 2 weeks, whatever it happens to be. You've got all that as an income. And yet you sit back and judge me because I have, what do you call it? Because I have one little thing called PayPal on mine. Go fuck yourself if you want to judge me for that. And I mean that in the nicest possible way. I actually say, go fuck yourself with with whipped cream and a cherry on top. Go fuck yourself if you're going to judge me for that. Because I don't lie about who I am. I don't charge $45 for a t-shirt. If I was to do memorabilia on this channel, I wouldn't even charge $20 for one of my t-shirts, because I actually have realistic, things. Yes, like I said before, I do ask for help at times. Yes, I do, and I'm very, very thankful to each and every person who has helped me along the way get to those goals. I appreciate it. It means so much to me. But the thing is, though, every time you point at me, there's 3 fingers pointing back at you, mate. 4 if you want to count your thumb, but your thumb, everyone goes, oh, I got 4 fingers in a thumb. I'm like, you got 5 fingers. I can deal with it just because one's called a thumb. Like you don't go, oh, hang on a second, but then my index finger, and then my rude finger, then my ring finger, and my little finger. Oh my God. Just because you call those little fingers and then you call the other one a thumb, what? You think that's not considered a finger? Fuck off. Can't stand when people do that. But yeah, so technically 1 finger pointed at you, at me, you got 4 pointing back at you. And that's not a good thing, because I do whatever I have to do in order to make my channel a nice, warm, welcoming place. Your channel, since I left, has been very cold and sterile. But that just might be me being a bitch. And if it is, I apologise. All right, guys. No one's going to talk in chat, so you know what? Hang on a second. I just got something. Hang on. But yeah, like I said, I'm at the point where it's like I just don't know what people expect or want from me. I honestly don't anymore, because every time I do true crime, everyone wants, Tammy, do true crime. So I start talking true crime, nobody comes in to hear it. I talk about everyday things. I've got people coming in, but then people messaging me, telling me or asking me, but they're doing it, the tone I'm taking is in a bitchy tone. Why don't you discuss true crime? I do, but yet when I do, people don't come in. Even if I schedule the live, people do not come in when I do true crime. Hence the channel name change. But like I said, if you're here for the right reasons, thank you. If you're here because you wanted to spy for anyone, why waste your time? Do you honestly, people that come in and spy for other creators on my channel, thanks for the view, but still, it comes down to, what do you honestly get out of it? What, you get a thank you and then you're forgotten about until next time I go live, and then you're contacted by them? Do you think that's fair on you to put yourself in a situation where he'll probably just shit all over you as well? They will probably shit all over you as well, I should say, sorry. And then what? You've just destroyed your reputation throughout YouTube as being someone's spy for other channels. I'm prepared to give anyone a chance on my channel. But it gets very hard to do that when there's people out there that are so hell-bent on making you look like the fucking idiot. I don't care what people think of me anymore. I would do whatever the fuck I want on my channel whenever the fuck I want. If you don't like my swearing, ignore it. But you like my content, stick around and enjoy the show. I'm not going to put up with people treating me like they have been over the years. I'm not. If you want to be in my live, that's fine. Be a part of it. Just make yourself known. It's fine. But don't make yourself a sitting pigeon waiting to be picked to be let free from, if that makes sense. Oh, hang on a second. I have a farm of pigeons. I'm going to let this pigeon go free today. That's how it is. Everybody's free on my channel. Free to say whatever the fuck they want. But if you think that the way you can get respect from somebody is to come in here and not, and spy for other people, that's not a way to get my respect. No fucking way in hell. Okay? This is actually the longest I've ever gone without anyone even saying hello to me in chat. This is fucking funny. But anyway, I don't care. I'm going to go because I want to rest my throat. I haven't got any medicine for it or anything like that. I'll probably get some Wednesday, but by then, who the fuck knows? All right, guys, you all take care of yourselves, especially to the two people in the background. Be good. And if you are here to spy for other people, ask yourself, like I said before, is that the reputation you want to build for yourself? Because one of these days there is going to be a live anywhere you're sent to be a spy, and you might really have some relevant information about it. But do you think that if you ever get discovered, say for example, when your name's I'll go with the original that I normally go with, Jack Frost. Or do you honestly think that if you get discovered that you're in here this is for my channel only, okay, when I say this. If you think that your name is Dark Knight or Jedi Warrior, you think you're going to be able to, and you come in here and I find out later that you're a spy for another channel that doesn't like me, or channel creator that doesn't like me, what happens if one time, right, you're the one that holds the key to something that could potentially solve a fucking case? Do you honestly think that anyone out there in the YouTube circuit is going to take you seriously if it's been released prior to that you're a spy for a hater channel, a channel that hates people? Do you honestly think anyone's going to take you seriously? All I can say is the pay must be really good if you're here spying for a certain channel that I don't really want to know anything about anymore. The pay must be phenomenal. But that particular channel's like a 7 income channel. So, they're busy judging me for having just PayPal. Meanwhile, they've got 7 sources of income if you count their everyday job. They sit back in judgment of me. Just remember that. They tell you that I beg. There are days, like I said, I'm in so much pain with my eyes and hands that I can't even lift my phone to do a live. So until you start realizing the fact that carpal tunnel might have I might have had my hand operated on for my carpal tunnel. That doesn't mean it got better. My astigmatism in my eyes and my fucking bulgy cornea that gets repaired whenever a cornea becomes available for me. That's what I've got to live through every fucking day. And if I could share my screen right now, I'd actually show you how my eyesight actually looks on a constant basis. But I can't share my screen. You said, oh, hey, Bubsy, how you doing, sweetheart? No, I'm not really okay. No. I'm pissed off. I'm just at the point where it's like I can't handle knowing the fact that when I have people as guests on my panel and then people are out there trying to fucking destroy me because of it. Who I have on my panel and in my channel is my choice. It's not theirs to try and. Thank you, Bubsy. You're a sweetheart. I'm just at the point where it's like YouTube is like a fucking popular, like it's like a fucking frat house. You're trying to get into it or trying to get into a popular group in school. And I'm never going to be popular. And I honestly don't give a shit anymore. I'm sorry if that makes me sound like I'm bailing out, because I'm never going to give up on my channel, and I'm never going to give up on the quite a few friends that I've made. But at the same time, what is it going to take for people just to understand that I'm just me? Exactly right. Bubsy couldn't have said it better myself. They can stick it where the sun don't fucking shine, because I am done trying and weasel my way into a popular group on YouTube. Because at the end of the day, where I'm different from all the other creators who hate me, where I'm different is I don't care. That's where I'm different. And that's where I'll continue. Yeah, no, I've got to end the live soon, Bobsy, because I am upset. I'm just at the point where it's like I talk true crime, I get ridiculed for it. I have someone who is not necessarily, no disrespect, Sherilyn, if you happen to listen to this on replay, someone who is not a professional in crime, but has spoken to someone who has committed the ultimate crime of this day and age, who's actually spoken to him in the flesh, and I had her on my channel, and then you wait until that critique moment to post something on your community post about her. But you didn't do it before she was on my panel. You did it shortly after she was. So it might have just been coincidental. It might have just been, like I said, it might have just been coincidental. But I don't think so. Like I said, there are some creators out there who I actually really do admire. And like I said, they have, they have what they have. But there's one or two channels, I'm not going to say how many, but they judge me for having PayPal. But these people have super chats, super stickers, membership, memorabilia, fucking PayPal, GoFundMes, all that sort of stuff. And they sit back in judgment of me for just having PayPal. Grow the fuck up and take a look in your own backyard before you start trying to before you try and fertilize mine with poison. It just hurts, Bubsy. Yes. Thank you, Bubsy. That's very sweet. I have who I have in my channel because, want to know something? I'm me. I don't try and put on this facade that I'm something that I'm not. If I'm struggling, I say I'm struggling. I don't live the high life where I could go to the shops every single day and buy a tub of fucking caviar and sit back and eat that with whatever you eat fucking caviar with. I wouldn't fucking know. I don't have that luxury. There are people out there who do, and kudos to you. But I'd rather be real with the people that listen to my channel. Because when I was on theirs, I had to lie and say I was fine when I wasn't. I had to say, no, I'm not in pain when I was. Because I was never allowed to talk about what I wanted to talk about. If I wanted to talk about my pain in my hand, couldn't do it. When I talk about the pain in my eyes, couldn't do it. Feeling like absolute shit, couldn't say that. I had to make out that I was fine, so then I didn't bring his channel down. By doing that, I did myself a disservice. So that's why now, if someone comes into my chat, that's why now when people come into my chat and they ask me how I am, I'm brutally fucking honest and say I'm shit. Got a headache, got a sore throat, feel like shit. I'm feeling emotionally fucking drained. I'm not ashamed to say that to anybody anymore. Whereas before, I felt as though that if I did, I was letting that creator down by being honest. And what thanks did I get in return? I got told that I'm a beggar and I miss PayPal. I'm sorry I don't have a 7, or other than that, I'm sorry that apart from PayPal, I get my pension once every 2 weeks and whatever money I make on YouTube. I'm sorry that I don't have a 7 source income on my channel where I can just put my feet up and, fill my pockets and line my pockets and talking about a family who was annihilated time and time again and use other people's content at the best of times. And you've used mine plenty of times after telling me over the phone that, oh, no, we can't say that. But then you stored it away for a rainy day and got someone else to mention it and you sang their fucking praises for it. Sorry, I'm having difficulty reading chat. Exactly right, Bubsy. And I've had a lot of people help me over the years since having my channel. And each and every one of them, not just because they donated, but each and every person that has subscribed to my channel and donated, participated in chat, been here when I've gone live, I'm thankful from the bottom of my heart for all of that. But I'm afraid it's all going to fucking end if he keeps on trying to destroy me like he is. We all need to stand together against the bullies on YouTube and take them fucking down. Not them in person down, but their channels down. They don't deserve to have a fucking platform on a place like this. Thanks, Bubsy. Why should they be given a platform to be a fucking bully? Why should these people think it's okay? Why are YouTube a world famous platform for people to be able to be themselves and where people can post videos and all that kind of crap and, oh, look at this, my dog can bark on cue. Oh, YouTube it. You have videos like that on here. YouTube, you have a responsibility to people to make them feel as though that they're not being ignored. You head office of YouTube, start taking responsibility and start taking some of your power back, that when people file a complaint, you actually acknowledge it. You don't then, ignore it. Because YouTube is full of bullies and you're doing fuck all about it. You allow videos of people getting beaten up in schoolyards, for fuck's sake. But yet you want to ridicule people for putting a song into their live? Yes, it's copyrighted, I get that, but fuck. Wake up, YouTube. Start lifting your fucking game. It's very hard because, okay, I'm trying my hardest to not let it bother me, Bobsy, but the reason it does is because I stupidly admired this person for so fucking long. And it wasn't until he bullied me for the last time that I actually saw his true colours. Excuse me for a sec. Okay. You sure can, Bubsy. There you go, sweetheart. Hey, Gina, how you doing, sweetheart? It's just getting to the point where it's like I said, YouTube needs to step up and start actually taking reports from people who have a channel themselves and actually listening to when people express their concerns. Don't just sweep it under the carpet and think it's going to solve itself, because it's not. By you at the head office of YouTube ignoring these things that people are coming to you with, you're allowing it to happen. Hey, sweetheart.
Hey, love. How you going?
Yeah, I'm alright. Just getting a bit upset about a lot of shit I don't need to be upset about, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know why you let this person affect you so bad.
Because I think it comes down to, like I said before, I think it has a lot to do with the fact because I stupidly admired this person and I'm still in a small, tiny pinpoint size seeking his approval. And I don't know
Yeah.
why. You know, I
It,
never had. Sorry,
I
go
have
on.
to apologize for my daughter in the background.
Is she
So
okay?
she's on a game. So just
Oh, okay.
if you hear her yelling out, she's on a game. So
Oh, okay. So your daughter's okay. She's not.
yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's
She's all
fine.
good. But
Oh,
no,
thanks for the heads up. But no, but I think that's what it comes down to because when I had like, I think you were here for that live when I had Scott Russell Hill on here. I was
yes,
so
yes.
stoked with that, you know, and I'm hoping he
And
can come back in the new year.
then you had the
Sorry,
author on about, and it's so funny because it was only the day before that I saw the author. I can't remember her name, and I
Carolyn
apologize big
Cadle.
time. Yes, and I saw her in an interview, funny enough, the day before, and I watched it, and I thought, wow, how interesting to actually, like, she was so interesting. But guess what, Tammy?
What's that?
That's what he's doing this to you for, because you've got potential. You can pass him in so many freaking ways, and he's scared shitless. He's shitting his pants that you will actually go forward, have the fucking confidence, excuse my language, to do
No,
what you want
yeah.
to do. And this is why I'm getting pissed off, because you know you've got it in you too. You may have your eyes and your wrists that are having troubles or whatever, but you know you've always got us in the background that will help you in that way. But
Yeah.
you have so much more fucking potential. I've never watched one fucking video of this guy. I don't even know who he is, and I don't even care, and I won't. I won't go near his channel because of how he's treated you. But
Yeah, thank
he
you.
sees, seriously, Tammy, he sees the potential in you. He's grabbing a hold of your not insecurity. It's not insecurity. It's the
I'd say my
trigger in
stuff
you.
out. Yeah,
He's grabbing the trigger. He knows you well, and he's an asshole because he knows you well, and he's triggering that part to make sure that you're still underneath his fucking thumb. And
yeah. Well,
that annoys me so much
oh,
because
it
you have
annoys
so
me
much
too.
potential. Yeah,
Thank you,
it,
sweetheart. It annoys me
I'm
because of the fact
serious.
that, you know, like I said, for nearly 2 years, I admired this person and I looked up to this
Yeah,
person as a role model. And then out of nowhere, he took the word of someone he'd only been speaking to for a little while over mine, claiming I said things I didn't say, and then completely shit all over me. But like I said, expecting me to, I look back on it now and I think back. Sorry, I'm just a little bit emotional here. I
it's
would get
okay,
upset because
Maddie.
of the fact that I always had to fake when I was on his
Yeah,
panel, always.
yeah,
And that's where it would really devastate me because then when he would finish his live or whatever, or the next day, people would come into my life, oh, how you going, Tammy? And I'd be honest, straight up, I'm shit, you know, and I'm not going to
yeah,
sugarcoat it again like I do when like, obviously, people don't want to hear when creators are feeling down.
yeah,
But I would rather be honest with people I care about that, hey, I'm feeling a little bit down today. That's part of the reason I didn't go live earlier is because I was crying so much because I was just like, how can people come to me and say, he's saying this about you, but then instead of sending it to me, have my back. You're not going to get in trouble on my channel for having my back. Like I don't
yeah,
care what he has to say. I had Cheryl
yeah.
and Kayla on here, and for
Yep.
me, that was a massive, massive, massive
Yes,
honor
it was
because
awesome.
because like the person said, oh, she only had 20 in her chat. I don't care if I only had five.
So
20 is
that
still
doesn't.
impressive.
Guess what? Guess what? How many does he have in his chat every fucking night, or whenever he goes
Oh,
live? How many does he have in his chat?
I
What?
don't,
Some.
about 100 and something.
Oh, who cares? Who gives a shit? Do you know what? You
But how
had
many of those
20
people
and
get ignored though?
yep, well, that doesn't matter, matey. What I'm trying to say is the reason why, he's having a go because you've had 20 right now.
Mm,
Like when I first entered, you had three, right?
yeah.
You had 3 people in your chat. You're not really, you're talking about how you're feeling and all that sort of stuff. If
Yeah.
you were doing the same thing and got the author back up on your panel, you would have a lot more.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And that number would keep climbing. That's what he's afraid of. So it doesn't matter
Oh,
whether you've just got 20 in your chat. He's scared that, and he knows your channel will grow.
yeah. Well, Mia
He
said I did a very good
knows.
interview. Mia
You
and I
did.
spoke earlier. Like, I don't think like I said earlier, that I don't have, like, say, for example, if you were coming up here and talking about, I'm trying to say, cooking. Okay, I will say that because
Yeah.
you've been doing a lot of cooking. You've shown me a lot of them and all that sort of stuff. And there was, like, say, about 50 people in here. I would have the same criteria that I have for, say, Sherilyn, Scott, whoever's on panel. Hey, people
Yeah.
in chat are asking you questions. Just answer the questions you feel comfortable answering. Apparently, that's not my mum said to me. She goes, "Why don't you just ask the questions?" I'm like, "Well, for starters, I can hardly read the fucking chat. And
Because you're
second of all,
human.
I
But
want them
that's,
to feel comfortable."
Tammy, can I tell you right now the reason,
Mm,
and I know that, there's people that don't like her and people that love her and blah, blah, blah. The reason why I watch Natasha,
yeah,
because she's real. You know what?
exactly,
I don't agree with every opinion she has, but she's my friend. I mean, we've become friends, but to watch her, she's real. She
exactly.
has her bad days, she has her good days, she has her shit days, she has a cry, but we're all there for her because she's real. I don't know who this freaking guy is, but I want to smack him in the head. Sorry, but I do.
No,
You're real, Tammy, and that's why. You know what? You may only have 20 in your chat, but guess what? Those 20 are in your chat every single time you go live. I wonder
that is
how
very
many are
true.
the same with him.
Yeah, and
It's
all mine
not
are
about
actually
the
legit
number.
subscribers, not bought
It's
ones.
not about the number. It's about like who is loyal to you and who
Yeah,
loves watching you.
that's very
And
true.
we're here for you. Like, couldn't give a shit what you talk about. I'm here because I love you. I think you're
And I love you too,
fantastic,
honey.
But that's
Thank
what I'm
you.
saying. Like, there's so many times I'm in chat and you're saying, I'm not gonna, monetize and I'm not gonna get super. Well, why not? Why not? Everyone else is doing it. Why,
Because that's
why
just it.
not
I want to be
you?
one of those ones who stands on the outside, not doing that. I want to be completely different. And also, I want people to know that if I do that, I don't want people thinking, say, for example, if you ask a question in chat and then someone
But
does
Tammy,
a
can I
super
just
chat,
stop you for a
then
minute? Can I stop you for a minute?
mhm,
How many people do you know are going to think you shit for doing that? One person.
mm.
One person. That's it. No one else. And if it's
Well, there's
anybody
two if
else,
I
they're
count
just fucking
myself.
jealous.
Yeah, I just get worried
Well,
though because I don't want people thinking, if, like I said, if you ask a question in chat like, "Hey, matey, how you doing?" and then someone comes along and
yeah,
does a super chat, they're going to be like, I don't know if that stands out on StreamYard when I'm on my phone. I don't know. But I
yeah.
don't want people thinking because, hey, you asked how I am, but then someone sent a $10 super chat asking how I am and I answered them. I don't want other people who ask me how I am, that I've ignored
But
them because the person just did that. I don't want
but but
anyone who
Tammy,
donates to me. I want it to be
that's
confidential.
that's their problem, not yours. They wanted to send you the $10. Once they donate that $10, it's gone. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
when I give people money or I donate or whatever, that money's in their hands. Whatever they do with it is their thing. I enjoy content. I will, it's like a job. And Tammy, for you it is because you struggle so hard,
Mm.
with your eyes and why not? It's your job. You enjoy doing it. I don't understand why. Well, I do understand why you have such a problem with it because look, I say he's not a can, he's a can't.
I like that. Yes.
But he's the only one that's making you insecure about doing that. And I don't, I, well, I kind of do. I get the loyalty. but he was never
Yeah.
loyal to you. So
Yeah,
why
well, that's true.
you know what I mean? Like, you've got your loyal followers, and I'm one of them, and I want to see you succeed. And so do the rest of us. We really
Yeah,
do. We want to see you fucking
thank
win
you.
and eat that caviar with a little tiny fucking spoon with a little tiny bun. We want you to win, you know?
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
want for myself too. That's before I go on with all that other stuff that I was going to talk to you about, do you like my new channel name?
Yes, I
Well,
do.
logo. Yeah, because it's funny, I can't use Tammy's Corner. So it has to be.
Yeah.
So people have to actually search, if people that know me and know my surname could actually search me.
Yeah.
It's
But the
funny, so
thing
I
is,
give.
so I loved your true crime as well, and you just felt like,
I'll still be discussing true crime on here, just not feeling
yeah.
forced to
But
every time I hit that
it's
go live
like you were
button.
too afraid to take that next step, and I want to encourage you to take that next step. I'll tell you what I've been thinking about the last 2 weeks because it's been spoken about on YouTube a lot. Now, you know I
Yep.
have kids that are transgender,
Yes.
and this
I
shit
actually
has
want to do
pissed
something
me
on
off.
that.
Oh, yeah. And I want to open a channel that's called Transparent because I have 3 kids that are transgender. And
Yep.
I want to squash the propaganda. I want to squash what people's opinion are on it. My kids didn't choose this life. It's not an attention seeking thing. It's who they are. And the thing that's, I mean, yeah, I'll talk to you about that in private.
Yeah.
But even my son Lem wants to come on the channel with me. It won't be lives or anything like that. It'll be like premieres or, just talking about being a parent. And, the fear that I have in that because I've seen it. I've seen the
Mm.
hate. But you know what?
Would
The love of my kids and trying to get, awareness out there for my kids,
yeah.
including Lulu, like who has Down syndrome. It's not much different. I'm telling you right now. I mean, I
Would
look at
you and
people and they
your
say, sorry,
sorry, good. No, I was going to say, if excuse me, if I do a well, when I shouldn't say if I should say when I do a
yeah,
live on that, would one of your children, like not being disrespectful when I say this, your eldest child that's transgender, would they be comfortable
yeah.
coming on panel and talking about how
Oh
they've
God, yeah.
been? Yeah, sweet. Because I would love to be able, like, I know a few transgender people myself, and I don't treat them any differently as if they were Bob down the road delivering ice creams for free. That'd be nice.
That's
You know what I
the
mean?
actual
And
key to the whole fucking thing, and that's what pisses me off because, okay, would you call, Lulu has Down syndrome and autism? Okay, would
yep,
you call Lulu Down syndrome Lulu?
no, I'll just call
No,
her
you
Lulu.
wouldn't. No, because Lulu is Lulu on her own.
Exactly.
She's not her
Exactly.
disability. Dot
Exactly.
Martin and Lem are Dot Martin and Lem. They are transgender after that. I want my kids
Exactly.
accepted for who they are, no matter what they are. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. And just
So,
know that if anytime they want to come up here, any of them, and you're
yeah,
always welcome up here as well, obviously.
yeah.
But just know that I keep saying if, when I do that live, you're like, I'm going to try and ask Andy what it's like, how does he get treated being gay? Like,
Yeah,
does he get treated
yeah,
differently? And I know for a fact he does. But he won't do the interview with me because obviously people know Andy on my chat.
yeah,
And that's why I said it'll be good. And if, like I said, if one of your children, doesn't matter which one it is
yeah.
comfortable coming up and talking about it, they're more than welcome anytime.
It'll
Even if
probably
I've
be
got a
Dot.
particular topic in mind, I don't give a flying fuck. I'll change the channel
Yeah.
title because I
Sorry,
want
matey. I
people.
didn't mean to. I didn't mean to turn it
No,
into
no, I
that.
agree
But
completely with what you're saying. People look at people
yeah,
that are transgender and they look at and gay, straight, bi. Like people treat me, not trying to sound like I've got an ego here. People treat me with respect because they know I'm a heterosexual female. That doesn't mean
yeah,
that I can't have someone up here who is transgender, gay, bi, drag queen, whatever they do in their life. As long as they're not a serial killer or a CM, I'm
yeah.
not going to say what a CM is because
Oh, I know.
boundaries. But I'm not going to have one of those on my panel. I'm not going to have someone who's been in
Yeah.
jail convicted of that. I'm not going to have any of
Oh,
that sort of shit
Lordy.
on my channel.
Don't
I
get
know
me
I say,
started with that one.
like I say, everybody has a voice on my channel, but those sorts of people don't have a place on my panel at all.
Yeah.
And
I
I want
know.
everybody to understand that whether you're transgender or straight or whatever you are in life, your
Yeah.
life is your life. You don't choose, you don't wake up one day and go, oh, if you're a
No,
female, you don't wake up one day and go,
seriously.
oh,
Look,
I'm a
I'll
male.
admit, Tammy, I'll admit that there is, the very small group that do it for attention, and I do agree with that. But the
Caitlyn
shit that
Jenner.
my kids, oh, don't even get me started on that one either. The shit that my kids have gone through,
Yeah.
they would not choose this. They're not choosing it.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I was
who
going to
they
say. It's like you
are.
don't wake up one
Yeah,
day as a man and go, "Oh, no women are going for me." You go, I suppose I might as well be gay.
yeah,
That's
yep,
not how the being gay works in life.
no,
No disrespect to Lulu when I say this, and I mean this with love. She didn't wake up one day and go, "Oh, I'm not getting mummy's attention. I'm just going to say I've got Down syndrome."
yeah,
Or
I know.
one of your eldest
But
kids is going to
that's,
say, "Oh, I'm
but
not getting attention."
you're
They
right,
don't
because it
choose
is a
it.
genetics, it is a DNA thing, and people don't understand that.
Yeah,
Look, and like I said, there is a small minority that think it's the cool fashion right now, and I do understand that. But then
mm,
there's the real ones that, and I don't see my kids in the future going, oh no, I want to go back to being a man, or oh no, I want to go back. No, 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 no. And I have told them that they have to wait until they're older to
yep,
know who they exactly are. So I'm not like, pandering to them as a 4-year-old going, oh, yes, you can be whoever you want to be. No,
yeah,
I don't do that, and
yeah,
it took a lot for my daughter Dot to come out to me. She was 17, because his father made a crack at her. Sorry. Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go with the pronouns. I still get it wrong. When she was 10, and she was too afraid to come out, even though her older brother was transgender himself. So
yeah.
it just goes to show it's not a choice. Not with my
Exactly.
kids
It's definitely
anyway.
not a choice, and that's why,
No.
like, I also changed my channel name because I want people to understand that this isn't just a crime channel. This
Yeah.
isn't just me,
Sorry, I'm going on. I won't
no,
go on about the transgender thing anymore.
no. Well, I
It's,
was going to no, go on for as much as you like. What I'm saying is the fact that if people of like all walks of life, every single person on this planet, even
yeah.
identical twins, are all different. You can't,
Yes.
like, I don't judge anybody if they want to be gay. Like, not saying they want to be gay. If they're gay, they're gay. If they're straight, they're
Yeah.
straight. If they're trans, they're trans. I'm not going to look at someone like, for me personally, I used to know this couple who were husband and wife, but the husband himself was transgender. And I
Yeah.
was introduced to that. I'll make up a name. I'm not going to actually say the name, but they were
Yeah.
introduced to me as Melissa. Okay, but
Yeah.
the wife would come to me and go, "Oh, please don't call him Melissa. His name is Mel." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Well, I've always been introduced to your husband as Melissa, so that's how
Yeah.
I'm going to continue addressing her unless she tells me something different herself." And the
Yeah.
wife stopped talking to me after that, and I'm just like, "Well, at the end of the day, you have issues about your husband being transgender. Here's an idea,
Yeah.
then separate. If you've got
Yeah.
such an
Because
issue, don't come where your husband works and owns a business and telling people when his back is turned that, oh, don't call him Melissa,
yeah.
and that's something that's always stuck in my mind thinking, how can someone stay married to someone if they're uncomfortable with it? Don't be
Yeah.
with them. Don't be married to someone that you're going to go to his place of work where he feels the most comfortable and the most alive, and telling
Yeah.
anyone who will listen to you to address him by his male name. That's not something that I'm prepared to do. Like I said, I know about one, two, three, five or so transgender people, and most of those people are males that have transitioned into a female. And I address them how if he was to walk up to me or she was to walk up to me and go, "Hi, I'm Mel," and then all that sort of stuff, then by all means, that's how I would address them. But they introduce
Yeah.
themselves to me as my name is blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah.
like I did a fundraiser a little while back now, can't exactly remember how long ago, but I did one called Where Do You Draw the Line? And it was to
Yeah.
help the gay community. Well, the funds that I raised went towards White Ribbon, which I've been told is
Yeah.
no longer around. But all the money I raised for that was to help the gay community around Australia find services where they can actually get help, because they
Yeah.
think, and I did that, and people go, why did you do that? And I'm like, because I know what it's like to go through domestic violence. I know what it's like to feel
Yeah.
like there's no help out there. Whereas with this, it can happen to anybody out there. It doesn't mean, someone's going to come along and go, oh, okay, you're straight, I'm going to smack you around. Sorry if that's a trigger for anyone. I'm now going to skip over you and I'm going to go to the heterosexual person behind you in the line and I'm going to smack them
Yeah.
around instead. But there's no label to say if you are what you are, you get picked. Like it's the same with like when someone said to me, with having a lot of gay friends at one stage, but aren't you afraid of like AIDS and HIV? I'm like, well, I'm not about to
Oh,
go
Lordy.
cut open my hand and get them to cut open their hand and give a blood oath or anything like that. So it doesn't phase me, it doesn't. And there's still people in this world that judge people, like they still watching a
Oh,
documentary
yeah,
on
I
Freddie
know.
Mercury. People were
Oh,
so afraid to touch
he
people
was
that were gay.
beautiful.
And then when you saw Princess Diana, she was hugging people, she was touching people,
Yeah.
and she goes, AIDS is not something to be afraid of. And they used to call it the gay plague. And that for me, for having a lot of gay friends, used to make me really quite sick.
I know.
Or the
I
gay
know.
cancer. And it's like, oh my God, really? And then
They stuffed up with that one because it came on to bloody straight people. So they stuffed up
exactly
trying to.
right.
Oh,
Exactly
don't get me
right.
started on the AIDS epidemic. Don't get me
Hey
started.
Matt. Yeah. It's so sad that the people out there are actually thinking it's okay to judge somebody because of their lifestyle.
I
Now,
know.
I
I
wake up each
know.
day and I'm like, I'm alive. And that's my judgment on myself. Not judgment as in I'm judging myself for being alive, but that's how
Yeah.
I see it. As I wake up each day, I take obviously I'm breathing while I'm sleeping. That's a bit of a stupid thing to say, but I take a deep breath and I'm like, I have a gay brother. I have an unmarried teenage a sister who was a teenage mum. I have a brother who's, you know, recovering from being a drug addict. I have a father who's passed away, but he was at one stage had a drinking problem and all that sort of
Yeah.
shit. But I don't look at that and go that I had a shit life. I still had food on the table at night. I had a bed to sleep in and all that sort of stuff. So I say as my parents did the
Yeah.
best they could, even though I bitch
Yeah.
about them a lot to people. But
Yeah, you don't bitch.
I just complain.
You don't
But
bitch. It
no,
was what it was, You just
exactly.
you say what it was.
Exactly. And that's what I mean. Like, there's people out there who judge me because my sister, like I said, my sister was a teenage mum. And she, as far as I know, 'cause I don't
God.
speak to her anymore, she did an
Yeah.
amazing job at the age of 16 raising a child. She did incredibly well. And
Wow.
people around the area I grew up in they would look at me, and if I put on a little bit of weight or if anything like that, they'll think, oh my God, is Tammy pregnant? No, I'm growing up. You put on weight when you're a kid. Some people are lucky that they can eat whatever the fuck they want, and I'll put on a pinch of weight. And those people I love,
Yeah.
but I just smack them.
But
But I don't
that's my
judge people.
point. That's exactly my point. Like the judgment is just
Yeah, and that's where
unbelievable. Oh,
exactly. And it's
yeah.
very fucking sad that people think, like I said before, that they have the right to judge people because they're transgender, gay, drag queening, or whatever they're doing in life. As long as I
Yeah.
say, if someone wants to be, not wants to be, but if someone wants to transition from being who they lived a lie being and then they want to be. I admire the fact that you're saying, you know, cool sort of thing, but wait till you're older because you're not
Yeah.
going to, like you said, you're not going to pander to them saying, oh, your child comes up and goes, so guess what, mummy, today I'm a dog. And you're going, oh, okay, well, then I'll feed you in a bowl and you can eat off the floor. You know what I mean? You know
But
what I
that's
mean?
the
Like,
thing, Tammy. Like the it's oh Jesus, I just had it in my head and I've gone, it's lost now. The thing is I had a friend, right, a couple of
yep,
years ago when Dot first came out and she went, oh, they're not transgender, they're just trying to get your attention. And I went, you know what? Okay. So they're trying to get my attention. They are who they are right now, and if they change tomorrow, I'll still support them tomorrow. I
Yeah,
will
and I
support my
admire,
kids
like,
no matter what. So,
exactly.
you
Like,
know,
I don't have kids, so I'd look at it as
yeah.
I feel for that. But if I had children, I would be the exact same way. Like if my child came up to me and said, "Mummy, I don't feel comfortable in my own skin," mind you, if they were 17, 18 and calling me mummy, I'd be a bit worried. But I wouldn't be like, "No, sorry, no, you
Oh,
can't be. No,
mummo.
I gave birth to you as a girl, so you're going to stay a girl. And no, you can't. And I gave birth to you as a boy, so guess what? You're going to grow old with that thing between your legs." No
Yeah.
fucking way. I say, as
No,
you
they're
respect your children.
comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I mean, Tammy, you
Mm.
know what I've gone through the last month.
Oh, definitely.
Dot's struggled big time. And you know
Yeah.
what? People need to see Dot for Dot, not Dot who's transgender. I want people
Yeah.
to see Dot for Dot. And Dot has always been the most beautiful, caring, calming, sensitive kid, regardless of gender. Sorry. Oh, geez,
Yep.
that was a lot. It's a bit of wind going there. Um, and she's never changed. She's never changed her
Yeah.
personality. She is who she is, and I'll take it. I love my
Exactly.
babies, and I love that they're unapologetic, unapologetically themselves.
Yeah,
Whereas
exactly.
it wasn't until I was 46 that I realized that I'm okay.
Yeah.
With everything that happened, it wasn't until everything happened that I went, shit, I'm actually a good human being. I'm an okay human being. I like
Oh,
who I am.
well,
Yes,
you're one of
it
my
would took,
best friends, that's for sure.
yeah, you're mine too.
No.
But I didn't mean
Can you
to make
picture
it
my
all
face
about
now? It's
that.
so
But
red.
but Tammy, this
Oh,
is what I'm saying. You're more than this piece of shit that keeps giving you jabs in the back and fucking yeah, 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 yeah. He's having a tantrum because he knows you can build up an audience. And this is
yeah,
what
well, that's
shits
true.
me because you're better than him. You're
Yeah.
much better than him. And fuck him for what he says. Fuck him for whatever. You've got 100 in your bloody. How long has he been around for?
Four
How long has he
years.
been around for? Oh, there you go.
4 years.
100 people. He's lucky to have that many. How
Yeah.
long you been around for and had your own channel?
3 years. Yeah, I think
Well,
it's about, well, in May next year, it'll be 3 years.
you've got your loyal
April or May.
following, and that's all that matters. Seriously,
Exactly.
that's all that
Yeah.
matters. And we will be there till your last. Well, I hope that's a long time to
Yeah, I'm
go.
not planning on giving up my channel anytime soon. But like, may
So
I ask a quick question to you and
yeah.
then you can tell me, you don't have to answer this on live, you can message me behind the scenes.
Oh,
Um,
mate, I'm
with
open. You know I
Dot,
am.
okay,
Yeah,
sorry, with Dot is he, sorry, I don't know how to word this without being disrespectful. Was Dot a male transitioning into a female or a female
yeah.
transitioning into a male?
No, no, no. Male transitioning to be a female. Martin and Lem are female transitioning to be male.
All right, well, let them know
Yeah.
that if they want to be able to, I'm not saying my channel is huge, obviously, but if they want to come up here and speak their truth and talk about how they've experienced life since, not obviously they don't have to go into anything too personal, but
Oh
if
no,
they wish
Lem
to come
will.
up here and
Lem
talk
will
about,
go. Lem will go nuts. Lem will speak the truth and speak exactly how he feels.
well, then tell
Dot
them
not
that
Dot
all of
knows
them are
not so
welcome.
much at the moment because she's struggling, so she's not as open. But I was
Yep.
speaking to Lem about not Save Robbie's live, but the TT's live. I was really pissed about that, to be quite honest, and I was really happy with what Save Robbie said as well. I
Okay, I didn't
respect
hear that, but
opinions. Oh, I happened upon it. I don't know how I did, but anyway, I respect other people's opinions. I'm not putting them down, but look at the other
hmm,
side before you make a judgment. That's all I'm
exactly
asking.
right.
That's all
Because
I'm asking.
we all struggle.
Well, all I said,
And
Tammy, to this TT woman, I said,
mhm,
God help you if your kids or your grandkids ever become gay, transgender, bi, God help you, because it will
yeah,
happen. It will happen.
Exactly. And that's
So
one thing I won't condone on this channel. If people want to come up here and, like I've always said, there's always a chance that I will, as everybody knows who comes in here on a regular basis, I always drop the link. So if there's a,
yeah,
if there is a time when one of your children or all of your children are free to come up, they're more than, like I said, they're more than welcome to, because I would absolutely love to get, not just to get views or to get money or to get
no, I
whatever,
know
but
that,
it's to get
Tammy. I know
people to
that
understand.
100%.
Good.
God,
Phew. I just want people to know that I want all walks of life to be welcome on here. But like I said, there is a line I draw in the cement, not in the sand so the water can wash it away. It's in the cement of certain people I will never, ever
yeah,
let on my panel, ever.
yeah,
And I just mentioned two of them before. Now, if there is a time where I will, like, obviously, if it's okay with you, when that does happen, I will, you know, put the title in, and I'll make sure whatever title I
yeah,
decide on, because it's going to be no disrespect again. Well, it's not disrespect, it's showing respect, I think. I will
yeah,
have a conversation with you and your children that are going to want to come up prior to organising and arranging the live and setting it all up and stuff. The four of us, if it's okay, or the five of us, are going to actually sit down and actually think of a title that they
yeah,
feel comfortable talking about, with that title attached to what they're saying. I'm not going to
yeah.
just
No,
come up with a title.
Lem would be the best one because Lem was the one that wanted to do the channel with me.
Yeah. Oh, well, if
I
you want
mean,
to do your,
the
I just thought
biggest
this would be a
reason,
dress rehearsal for you.
the biggest reason I wanted to do my own channel is to talk about how it is to be a parent.
Yeah.
And I mean, even my own kids won't like some of the shit that I say, but
Yeah.
I will show them first before I upload anything. I don't even know how to do this shit yet, so it may not happen.
I can try
I
and
have no
teach you.
idea.
I can try and teach you, but like I said, I just want them to know that there's always a platform for them. There's a platform, like I said,
Yeah,
for just about everybody here on my channel. I'm not going to go, oh my God, you're trans. I'm not sure if they, have you got your earbuds in?
yeah.
Okay, I just don't want to say anything, and then one of your kids here goes, oh, she's a bitch.
No,
I don't
they
want
can't
people
hear.
thinking that, oh my God, okay, Bubsy's son is coming up. Oh fuck, they're transgender. Oh, I better start treating them differently. Okay.
No,
Now, you know,
no,
that's not me. I do not treat anybody differently as if they were
I
born
know
with a
you
dick
don't.
or a fanny. I don't care.
I know you don't. I
And
know
that's
you
one
don't.
thing that I want, like I said, so whenever they're ready, they just let me, you just, obviously, you know my phone
I
number and you know
will.
to
I'll let you
contact me.
know. I'll
And
definitely.
it has to
I'm
be a
gonna have to
title with,
go because
no,
these
that's
kids are
okay.
giving me the poops. But I didn't mean
Honey,
to
you've
make it all
dropped,
about that.
sweetie, you've dropped the F bomb. I think you can say your kids are giving you the shits and it's okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, they drive me nuts. Fucking drive me
But
nuts.
like I
I
said, it will
swear they
be a
want me in
title
an
we all
early
agree on.
grave. They want their what, $1,000 inheritance.
Oh, no, we need your mum around a lot longer for that.
No, I know.
But like I said,
But
it
yeah,
has to be a title. Just if it's okay, when you get a chance to talk to them and stuff, talk to them about what they feel comfortable the title being and stuff like that, and then we'll have
yeah,
a
I
group
will
discussion away
definitely.
from YouTube, because I'm not going to have them up
Yeah.
here having it as a title that they feel uncomfortable associating with. I
Oh,
want
they'll
them to
tell
feel.
you. They'll tell you.
That's why I'm saying we can have a meeting and talk about what title they find appropriate.
Coolies. I'm gonna
Because
have to
I don't
go,
want them
Maddie.
uncomfortable.
Sorry.
No, that's okay, Bubsy. You take care of yourself, honey, and I'll be in
I'll be
touch.
I'll be in chat.
Okay, cool. Thanks for coming up here.
No worries, love.
See you, sweetheart.
Bye.
Bye. Oh man, she's amazing. Hey Jody, sorry I missed your messages as you're typing as I was on. Bubsy was up here. Um. Oh, okay, sorry. Hang on. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure Bubsy, when she comes back in here, she'll be able to read that stuff, Jody. So thank you for that. But no, but like I said, I want my channel to be about where people can come up and speak their truth. But there's, like I said, there will be certain people I would never allow on panel. But yeah, thank you for that, Bubsy. You helped me there. Thank you. Oh, bad. Um, sorry for being like, I'm not. I'm sorry for just saying the same shit pretty much all the time, but it just comes down to that, like I said, I want people to feel as though that I want people to know, I should say, that enough is enough of the bullshit. I am trying. And at the end of the day, that's the best that I can do while I can, you know? But like I said, it just comes down to that there are going to always be people out there that are going to try and make you feel like shit. But you want to know something, all of you? Bubsy made a valid point. Fuck the haters. Because I'm done with all the haters. I have to continue doing what I'm doing and do the best I can with it and do the best I can with what I've got. Well, shit. Sorry, I nearly ended the live without saying see ya. But no, I just want people, like I said, if you've got a story you want to tell or you've got something you want to get off your chest, you know, my panel's open. And I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing, which is hopefully helping people. And if it happens, it happens. Anyway, guys, I need to go and try and make something for my dinner. Hang on, what time is it? Oh, fuck, it's 9:30 at night. No, I'm not having dinner now. Too late. I am going to have a shower because I really need one. Even though it's not hot, I feel really, yes. But like I said, next time I go live, I am going to be from the very beginning of the live. If I'm not sure, I think that would be, hang on, what date is it today? The 16th. So I've still got like, what do you call it, 9 days. I'll probably go live on Monday afternoon and see how we go. But no promises. And like I said, I don't do the lives at times that I do to try and get attention. I don't do it so I can make money. If I put it this way, if I make money on my channel at any given time I go live, then that's a bonus for me. But I always state, and I can guarantee there are people in chat that can vouch for this, do not, if you've got a plan on donating, please do me a favor. Make sure you've got no debts coming your way. Make sure you haven't got any debts, I'd say debts coming your way that is going to make you short if you donate to me. Don't donate if that's happening. I will give some thought into doing super chats and super stickers. I just got to figure out how to do it. So if anyone out there who has the ability to know how to activate that, please give me a heads up. I will activate it, and then at the end of the day, it's up to people if they want to do it. I won't do membership, but I will consider doing super chats and super stickers. If anyone out there knows how to, like I said, activate that, please give me a call through Messenger. If you know my actual phone number, then give me a call through that. I want everyone to know that I'm going to be doing whatever I can. Don't be sorry. It's all cool. Oh, okay, so Bubsy, you found that? Yep, wicked. I was mainly sticking around a bit longer, so then that way you could have a chance to come back in and find what Jody wrote. I should have highlighted it, but I didn't want to draw attention and make it sound like I'm pinpointing certain things. But like I said, anyone who's going to ever donate to me from this day forward, and I've said this from the day dot, don't do it unless you can really seriously afford to do it. I feel bad when people donate to me and then I read on Facebook that they're struggling now themselves. I feel bad for that. And I know I shouldn't, but I do. I'm not saying names here, but I know a dear friend of mine has donated to me quite a few times. And then I read recently that she's now going to be struggling, and I feel like absolute shit for that, knowing that she's donated to me quite a few times and now I can't return the favour. I actually feel bad for that. But like I said, best thing I found out, like I said earlier, for those who have just come in, apparently there's no time frame on how long you can keep your money in your PayPal. So now that I know that, I'm going to make sure that I do that. I keep money in my PayPal for as long as I can. And that way, if there's people that have donated to me that are struggling, I can then send the donation back. So then I know that I'm actually contributing, even though it's their money. I want to be able to know that I can send it back if they're struggling, and I'm not here sitting like I've never tried caviar, apart from those little orange things you get on the outside of some sushis. Apparently, that's salmon caviar. Oh yeah, okay, Mac. Hang on a second. I was planning on wrapping this up, but you can come up for a bit if you like. Yeah. So it comes down to that. I am going to, whatever money I raise in the foreseeable future, I'm going to try my hardest to keep it in my PayPal. Because, like I said, I was told that you only get a 2-week frame, or they get PayPal takes it. And then I spoke to PayPal themselves the other day. They said, no, there's no time frame. You can keep it in there for 10 years if you wanted to. I'm like, ooh. But I did ask, does it gather interest? They're like, no. I'm like, oh. Yeah, the link's in chat, Mac. And yeah, but like I said, it's just I want people to feel comfortable coming up on my panel. I want people to feel safe coming up on my panel. And I'm going to actually take Bubsy's advice about that dipshit. I am going to do everything in my power to train my brain to not give a shit. Because my focus is everyone that comes into my chat, everyone that comes up on panel, and my family and my friends away from YouTube. So, okay, please welcome Mark. Hey, sweetie.
Hey.
How you doing?
Yeah, good. I didn't realize you were going live until like an hour later.
Yeah, well, because the one that I had
I thought-
scheduled for earlier, I was feeling like shit, and then I thought, go live for a bit, make sure everyone's okay.
Yeah, I came up because I wasn't sure, but I couldn't make sense of what was happening. I kind of heard, or I'm not sure if it was mentioned in chat or God, I can't remember, but I heard that someone came into your chat and attacked Rosa Lang.
When did that happen? I didn't see that.
Really, or was I just imagining it?
I think you might have been. I didn't see it in the one that didn't. When did that happen? Because I didn't see anyone attacking her. If I had seen that, that person would have been blocked straight away.
Okay, I must have been confused with something else. I saw Matt in the.
Yeah, so did I. That really upsets me that he's not here now because I love Matt. Matt's a sweetheart.
Matt.
But I'm not.
Said,
but he belongs to Tracy, so you know.
Matt's
Matt's
said
a sweetheart.
Matt apologized in chat to Aussie True Crime about blocking someone or hiding someone.
I saw that, but yeah, that's the thing. That previous live from earlier today, I deleted that from YouTube Studio. I've deleted it from StreamYard, but for some reason, I can't get rid of it on YouTube.
That's weird.
And it's like, hang on a second. So, like I said to Aussie, that I've removed it from all the other platforms. Why is it like? Because I go into YouTube Studio, and it's not there. I go to StreamYard, it's not there. I go to the actual my page here on YouTube, and where they say press the 3 dots on the side, and you should have remove video. I don't get remove video. I get download video, save video, or share video, and it's like no. I don't want to do any of that shit. I just want to delete this one. So then that way people. But then I thought I'll go in there and I put up something, and then I tagged it to the bottom, to the top of the page, where it's basically saying it's been postponed or cancelled until tomorrow or whatever. I'm feeling better.
Fair enough.
So, because like when you feel like shit, the last thing you want to do is be on panel, and all you want to do is sit in the fucking toilet.
Exactly.
Or have your head over the toilet bowl. Like, but yeah. How's your day been, though, my dear?
Well, Aldi had special buy on an air conditioner.
Oh yes.
And I managed to pick one up, but we were like,
oh, well done.
Thanks.
I'm going to be envying. Oh, what's the word? I'm going to be envying you. No, what the fuck? What's the word when you envy someone? I'm gonna be I'm
Envious.
gonna be in envy of you. There you go. Fucking hell. I'm gonna be in envy of you for the rest of summer.
Well, it's like they only had 7 out, and we went there like when the store opened. Like we were literally first ones in the door, and when we left, there was only 4 remaining.
Oh, well, you got there just in time, no, doll.
Yeah, well, it turns out, see, it has a dehumidifying function, and that's
Oh,
like you
that's
know how,
exactly what you need.
yeah, that's the main like thing we'll be using because like aircon takes more power than the dehumidifying function,
Yeah.
and you know power bills and all that shit.
I just got to quickly respond to something in chat. Jody, please don't mention that piece of shit's name in my chat. And he's not necessarily coming after me, so to speak. What he's doing is, like I said before, is that he put up this post about Sherilyn, which I found highly inappropriate. But he did that after she was on my panel or in my chat on my channel. And I just found that as personally a personal attack because it's like
Wait.
you have had ample opportunity to do that, and you do that after she's been on mine.
Wait. Are we talking about the post that he took down, or is dipshit made another
Oh no,
one?
there's a screenshot on his community post that someone sent me, and it went up shortly after Sherilyn Cadle was on my channel.
Is that the one you sent me?
No.
Can you send me this one?
I'll see if I can find it. It's probably been taken down now that I've drawn attention to it, but I'll see if I can find it again. It's on the community post. It's a screenshot. And but that's the thing though, is the fact that this is my channel, and anyone who has ever spoken to me, Bubsy, Matt, anyone who's ever spoken to me away from YouTube knows that I don't take shit from many people.
No, that's true.
Yes.
I think it looks like it has been taken down.
Okay, it's a screenshot with a white background and black writing on it. Yeah, I try hard.
Is that the one that says the many faces of Sherilyn Cadle?
Yes.
Paragraph from her recently released comic book?
Yes.
Why did
that
he
went
put
up?
that
If
up?
you look at that and then look at when Sherilyn was on my panel, it kind of just goes hand in hand. And I'm sorry, but that's where I'm annoyed. Now, I don't mention. I try my hardest. I only mention channel names that of people that are a positive, have at the present a positive influence on my life, Jody. I don't mention his name. I try my hardest not to, but it's fine.
Oh, you just call him
dipshit.
Dipshit. That's what our name for code name for him is, dipshit.
Yes. And until he makes an apology to me, that's what it'll always be. He apologized for all the bullshit he did to everybody else, but yet he'd never apologized to me for being a bully.
Oh, yeah.
So, but at the end of the day, why would he? Why would anyone ever apologize to anyone for disrespecting anyone as a person? You know, they just rather just apologize to people as a whole than apologize to the people who act like I've said before, I admired that dipshit so much. Okay, I actually had his back. If you go back and watch my earlier lives, I would actually tell people that if they don't respect him, they can fuck off.
Wow.
Okay, because I was that protective of him.
See, I was never that really. Protective's not the right word. I guess I gave him a benefit of the doubt, maybe. But then, like, I don't know. He's very convincing sometimes.
Yeah. I don't, you know what? I actually don't want to waste the airtime talking about him, if that's okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Fair enough. I have a question.
Sorry.
Have you, this has nothing to do with What's Case at all, but, do you by any chance follow Idaho 4?
I've heard a lot about it, but I haven't heard enough about it to get my attention to like get really sucked into it. I would like to talk about it with someone who just wants to come up and talk about it, and then I'll give my feedback to what they talk about.
Okay.
But I haven't actually, like, for me personally, like if I'm going to touch on a case, it's something that if I'm the moment, like for the first, say, I'm watching a documentary on something, if I'm doing that, if the first 10 minutes don't grab my attention, then I lose interest.
Well, there is a documentary, but it's not available in Australia. You can't watch it on the website. Like, I don't know
Yeah,
what
see, that's
news
what I mean.
channel.
They want,
It's
that's what sucks.
this is not available in your region. It's not on any streaming service either. And
Yeah,
I'm
see,
not
that's what I
paying
hate.
for a proxy just to watch one friggin' documentary.
It's all good, Jody. Relax, honey.
It's all good, Jody. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's chill. But yeah, no, I just wanted to bring up Idaho for a second. You know the general story that 4 people
How
were
about this? For
forced.
those who don't, myself included, for those who don't know anything about it, would you like to just give people a quick rundown on it?
Okay, yeah. Jody knows is obsessed with the case like me, but so the general rundown is 4 college students were unalived, by supposedly Brian K. He's still innocent till
Can I
proven
just stop you for a
guilty.
sec?
Yeah.
When Max says unalived, she means 4 people were killed.
I'm sorry, it's a bad habit.
No,
I have to.
it's fine. It's just that I don't want to, I am not monetized. All right. So I personally, there's certain things I will never say on my channel because I don't want to upset people. But when it comes to like 4 people were unalived, I'd rather just say 4 people were murdered. Because it's like
Well,
when you say unalived, it's basically, for me, it makes me feel as though that, excuse my way of saying this, it means that they took their own lives. That's how I perceive
oh, I get you.
unalived.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's
you
why I'm
see,
saying when she says unalived, they were murdered.
I'm on I help out another channel that's monetized, like oh god, I forgot 40 something 40,000 subscribers, and
Yeah.
in there, YouTube will actually possibly strike the video or bring in the bots if you use the K word too many times. It's ridiculous, and now it's sort of just sunk into my vocabulary. Anyway,
Yeah.
back to the general overview of the case. So, um, 4 college students were killed. 2 roommates survived, didn't call the police or ambulance for 8 hours. I'm not saying 2 hours. I'm not saying an hour. 8 hours. Who the F does that?
Well, in
Like,
fairness, though, these people that survived it, they were probably scared that the killer or the shooter
yeah, but
was going to come back. For 8 hours?
it's not only that, it's that God, what is it, Jody? The affidavit? They, where they mention where they found the knife sheath and it changed? Do you know what I'm talking about, Jody?
I'm glad someone has to know this because I don't know.
That's
The
it.
evidence?
PCA, yeah.
Okay.
Well, in the PCA, they claimed it was found beside one of the victims, and then another legal document says it was found underneath one of the victims. And
Could there have been
that's
more
a
than
problem.
one?
That's a big
Well,
problem.
my question to that is, could there have been more than one knife sheath?
No, only one is relevant. And
Okay. Sorry.
in the list of in the list of items seized by law enforcement,
Yeah.
there's only really one knife sheath mentioned at all. But the thing is that his whole arrest, right, is based on that knife sheath. Now, here's the problem with that. It's touch DNA. Now, touch DNA is in Australia law, it's considered junk science.
Yeah.
It's not enough for any court at all. You
Yeah.
might.
In
I don't
America.
even think you can get an arrest warrant with it anymore. I'd have to double check with my friend. But anyway, so that's really dicey because touch DNA is like easily transferable. Like you touch something,
Yeah.
someone else touches something, and you could both end up. Someone who's just been in their house and never touched anything, DNA could be on that. Now it gets even weirder because these are legal documents. So when the defense argues, they have to have the evidence to back it up or the documentation to back it up. Now, this bothers me a lot. There were 3 other male profiles that were not tested. Thanks for that, Jody. Yeah, probable cause affidavit. That's the
Yeah,
thing where.
thank you. I was just going to say that. I was going to say, hang on a sec. Thank you, Jody, because I was going to say, what the fuck does PCA stand for?
Yeah, so these 3. Was it 3 or 2, Jody? I think it was 3. I'll just say 3, but I'll have to double check that. They didn't even bother to test those 3 other male profiles. And
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. It bugs me because, they take this to the jury and the defense can just go, well, there were 3 other male profiles. Why didn't you test them? And then what's the jury going to think? That's not a good look for the prosecution.
No, it's not. But you think about how many times a crime has been committed, and no disrespect to America, where touch DNA has convicted the wrong person, and that person that is actually responsible for it then goes out and commits another crime, and they're like, oh, this is eerily similar to the person we've already arrested. Oh, therefore they must be a copycat.
Yeah, Jody
Instead of
said
thinking,
3, so
yeah, she thinks
it's 3. 3 untested male DNA profiles. Another problem with the DNA, and Mia was actually I think she was the first creator to bring this up, come to think of it. They took it, initially they took it to one lab. I think it's in this same state. But then for some reason, they took it to a lab in Texas. And I'm thinking, that's shady. Why are you taking it over the border for testing?
That's the thing I don't get with how they do these things when they do testings and stuff like that. Never understood it. Because sorry, can I just say something quickly?
Yeah, go.
Cheers. I find it very interesting that when you look at the stuff when they say, oh, there were unexplained fingerprints with the JonBenét case, we couldn't determine who they were. Like, oh, well, it might have been like they found suspicious fingerprints or something around her underwear waistband and her pajama bottoms. Oh, it's foreign DNA. We don't know where it's come from and all this. Oh, it must be, from the manufacturer and all this sort of shit. Now, I don't know about over in America, but over here in Australia, if you work in a factory of any kind, you have to wear gloves. Now, I personally still believe that somehow the family was somehow connected to what happened to JonBenét. Whether they weren't or they were, that's not my place to say. But I think with, like you're saying, with touch DNA, it's a very dicey thing. Now, if they think that it's touch DNA and they think it's from somebody that manufactured the underwear and all that kind of crap, Patsy always, anytime she bought her children new clothes, she would always wash them before she would let them wear it. So that would have gotten rid of that. So I don't understand how touch DNA, in my personal opinion, can be considered evidence when they don't even do the correct procedures to check with anything. I don't believe
it gets even more messed up. It really does. They ran it, or was it Jody? It was the FBI who ran it, right? Anyway, I'll just wait for Jody to get back to me. But either the FBI or law enforcement ran it through a genealogy site. And that's a gray area. Now, then they brought in the hearing a DNA expert, like the defense's genealogy DNA expert. And the defense questioned her, and basically the genealogy, because this family tree person has been doing this for years. She's really good at it. And the defense more or less asked, does law enforcement sometimes do this and without like consent? And that's not the exact thing she said, but it's something along those lines. And the witness pretty much says yes. And then the
that's how they get a lot of
FBI,
people these days.
yeah, I know. And then the FBI turns up and starts threatening her. I mean,
Me too, Jody.
Was it the FBI, Jody?
Yeah, she said yes,
Thanks,
FBI.
Jody. Yeah.
And she goes, the genealogy stuff still confuses her.
Yeah, it still confuses me too. Mia's done a really good job on it. She has a medical degree, so I just have to keep going back to that because otherwise I can't make sense of it. Anyway, so yeah, that's a big problem as well. And then you have the white Hyundai Elantra. Ugh. They are also using that. But then when they first announced the Hyundai Elantra, they said it was this model. And then when they found then they come back later and they say it's a different model. And they match BK's car to it, or supposedly BK's car to it.
Okay.
And yeah, Mia actually lives in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, the same place BK was living with his family. Anyway, she pointed out, and she actually took a video of the sticker on her car and said, well, how come the white Elantra, if it was BK's car, where is the sticker? Where is it? So you should be able to see that on camera. And
you'll find it. Sorry to cut you off. You'll find over here in Australia though that when we not me because I don't drive, but when cars are registered, we used to have a sticker on our windows and stuff, but they stopped doing that now. You don't get those stickers over here.
No.
You know what I mean? So it comes down to that you can put a car anywhere at the scene of a crime.
They still do it there. I mean, Mia has to get one. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Over here, we don't do the sticker things over here in Australia anymore, but everywhere else they still do them. But at the same time, what I'm saying is it's interesting how I personally think that if someone's going to be convicted of something, by all means, if you've got concrete proof, but even if you've got concrete proof isn't like solid at the end of the day, because, and I'm going to bring up the Watts case here, sorry, but I have to. They found garbage bags at the scene of the crime, but the fingerprints that were found on there didn't match Chris and they didn't match Shanann. But yet they still found a way to convict Chris. Now, I think personally, the people that every single person that they interviewed for
Chris
that case in particular. Beg your pardon?
Because Chris is a dumbass.
Yeah, we know that. But what I'm saying is that every person that was interviewed, Kessinger, everyone that was interviewed in that case should have had their fingerprints tested against those fingerprints they found on those garbage bags. Now, what I don't understand is the fact that if someone's in jail and they're finding all these things that are inconsistent with their original arrest, they shouldn't be in jail. They should be somewhere else, like not jail. Because how would you feel if you're going to jail and you're being convicted of CMing a child and then fucking it turns out, oh, hang on a second, actually, you weren't responsible. But in the meantime, you're sitting in a prison with all these other harsh assholes who don't take lightly to CMs and, and pedophiles and all that sort of shit. You could be in jail for something you didn't do. But in the meantime, you're copping beatings, you're copping all this bullshit. And it turns out you're innocent. And what? You leave. There was a person who went to jail over in the US many, many, many years ago. And he unfortunately, he suffered from Down syndrome. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm not saying there is. But the cops were saying to him, you say you did it and you can go home. And then he's all like, I just want to go home to my mom. And they ended up getting a false confession out of him. And he went to jail and he ended up with permanent, more severe brain damage than he went in. And it turns out that someone else was completely responsible for it. And that person who was in jail for it copped all this stuff happening to them. And now that person has to spend the rest of their life eating through a tube because he was wrongly convicted. And what his family was awarded, I think it was like $20 million or something. But I'm sorry, $20 million isn't going to give back that person eventually passed away, but the person who was falsely convicted. But $20 million isn't going to bring back your child, going to bring back your father, your son, your daughter, whatever. It's not going to bring them back thinking, oh, okay, we'll just throw money at the situation and hope that the problem goes away. It doesn't work that way. If you're going to arrest someone for a crime, you need to make sure that what you have is ironclad. You got to make sure it's actual proper evidence, not, oh, we think this person is responsible because a car that somehow looked like theirs, or we saw them walking past the scene and they look suspicious. Now, me personally, if I was to walk past a crime scene, I wouldn't particularly walk past like I'm just having a breezy day. I'd be like, what the fuck? I'd be a nervous wreck thinking, oh my fucking God, this is close, like up the road from me. Someone tied a chain around a fucking ATM and then tied it to their truck and drove and boom. It went through the windows and everything like that. The place like that's only was up the road and around the corner, a few corners from me. But it still scared the crap out of me to think there are people out there doing that close to home. If I was walking past that scene shortly after it happened, I wouldn't be just going, oh, okay, there's a broken, there's double doors there, they're broken. Oh, okay, no worries. I'm going to be fucking scared thinking, what the hell?
Yeah, can I just bring up something quickly with Idaho 4? And now one of the victims' families has been speaking out a lot. And that's a double-edged sword because by doing that taints the jury pool like a greater chance. And so, and there's a gag order in place, not that it stops them, but now they're claiming that they've been threatened.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. By one, and then claiming that it's because the surviving roommates have a lot of resources. And I'm like, dude, even if that's true, that's something you take to a solicitor. That's not something you put online. You're compromising the trial case.
Exactly. I don't understand it.
Well, neither do I.
Okay, calm down, okay.
But then I wasn't yelling at you. Just the whole
case.
No,
just sounded like you were.
Sorry. The whole case just annoys me because a lot of people are quick to convict, right?
Yes.
BK. Now, BK's never confessed. BK's not a total idiot like Chris Watts, because anyway, I won't go there because I don't want to talk about that case. I modded for it today and I'm over it. Anyway, Idaho with what was I saying about BK? Yeah, so people are jumping to the legal documents now. They read them and they think, oh, he's guilty because it says so. But what they don't understand, and I've had to point this out before, and I think I was complaining to someone about it, but a lot of creators on YouTube are reading the documents straight as they are. The thing is, with legal documents, you can't do that. You just can't. You have to.
Would you say you have to read between the lines instead? Like, for me, if I'm going to be
yes and no. That's not quite the way to put it. See, legal profession has a language of its own, or people call it legalese. Now,
Mm.
there's that, but there's also how the documents are written and why they are written that way. See, it could say, we believe this is guilty, blah, blah, blah. And then if you notice, they'll make certain citations to certain legislation. Then you have to actually understand it. You have to go to those citations, go to the exact point they quoted, and pick up to understand what their argument is. And
Mm.
in the BK case, there is a certain citation in one of the memorandums about protecting an informant. Now, the problem is if people don't understand the citations, they don't understand why that they think, oh, it's just referring to the whole thing. No, that citation will specifically list the points in the legislation or the law that they're referring to. Now that citation actually lists, say, I can't remember exactly, but 3 points or 4 points, and one of those points is that they may withhold information from the defense to protect an informant. Now, that was a specific point. Oh no, Tammy's kicked herself off. Hello, come back, Tammy. Come back, Tammy. Where'd you go, Tammy? Hello. Okay. You're back? You back?
Yeah, I kicked myself out again.
I think I did. Yeah, I did that the other time I was on panel.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was a specific citation, and they were referring to that point as well, because they listed it 1 through to 3 or something like that. Now,
Yep.
I don't really feel like going to my law books and pulling it out and providing proof because I couldn't be fucked. But Jody, if you want, on Facebook later, I'll take a photo of my legal citation guide and show you what I mean. But yeah, my problem is, with the exception of like lawyer creators, they read this out and they just speculate, like they say, oh, he's guilty straight because blah blah blah, and the defense is just making up lies, blah blah blah. And then I'm like, you have to look at the case law, you have to look at the legislation, then and only then can you understand the full context of the document.
Yeah. Would I be able to say something on a different
Sorry,
case
I'm
that I've
nerding out here a bit. Yep.
It's all good, though. Okay, there's another case in America that has always pissed me off, but has also, in the end, the right was written, I believe. The Memphis 3.
Oh, I've heard about that one. I don't.
Yeah, and it was like these kids were imprisoned for a crime they didn't commit, and it
Oh,
took over
yeah.
20 years to discover that it was one of the kids' stepdads who had
Oh,
actually committed the
what a
crime.
joke.
And it's like, and the reason that they said that, oh, the way that these kids were killed, and it looked like a satanic ritual and all this sort of stuff. Now, when I hear that sort of thing, and I'm thinking, yeah, well, none of those kids were actually involved in anything satanic. Just because they dressed in black doesn't mean they're satanic. I dress in black as often as I can because, hey, black's slimming. And the thing is, though, it's not. Trust me, that's a myth. But what I'm saying is that it's interesting how, when you think about it, when police are interviewing someone, they're sitting there with their pen and paper and all that sort of shit, and they're making notes of what you're saying. But my theory is, how much of what they're actually writing down. So, for example, you give an interview and it's like 20 or 30 pages. They give it to you at the end, and you, as the person who's just done the interview, you sign at the bottom. Now, I don't know how much time people have to read the documents of what they're saying, but there's also cases where there was this cop over in, I can't remember, it was in America. Sorry to disrespect Americans, but there was this cop who was a corrupt cop. He set his own house on fire and tried to convict someone else of doing it because he basically was at risk of losing his job and all this sort of shit. So what he wanted to do is he wanted to be able to make sure he got more than the payment he was eligible for. So he set his own house on fire and
Ugh.
got someone to come and do an interview. And what happened is he goes, oh, well, I'm going to have to make copies of these. Just sign these blank pieces of paper and then I can print them off and I've got your signature and all that sort of shit. This guy did it, and then no sooner than he did it, the cop shot him and killed him.
Yeah.
Now, things like that, when I hear stories like that, it makes me think how much of the discovery in any crime out there that's available to have a discovery with, how much of that stuff is actually added by the authorities because they want a
Yep.
conviction and they want that conviction now. Because I can guarantee you, if you've got a 20-page statement, the cops are not going to say, oh, okay, well, we need you to sign these, but it's okay, take your time, read through it and make sure I wrote everything correctly. Because if I'm doing it like now, if someone was to, like, if you and I were to talk after this live and
Yeah.
you said to me, oh, well, what did you talk about at the beginning of your live? I could give you the gist of what I talked about, but I couldn't give you word for what I said. So
Exactly.
in saying that, how much time do the police give their people that they want, that they've got in custody, how much time do they give them? Over here, I think you get about 15, 20 minutes to breeze over what you've said in your statement. But I
Yeah.
don't know. I'd like to know how much time do you get in America to actually read through what you've been saying to the police, and how much of that is actually accurate to the word of what you've said. If you say, I wasn't there at the scene of the crime, I was at McDonald's getting breakfast for everybody. How much of that statement there, because you want this person in jail, because you have a vendetta against them yourself, because you're the arresting officer, how much of that
Exactly.
little statement I just said there is actually going to be put into that if you want a conviction so fucking badly? How much of my statement is actually going to be word for what I just said? Yes, they record it, but how much of that is actually looked at and thought, oh, here he's given himself an alibi that can be checked out, and then we have to let him go because he was caught on CT footage going into McDonald's to pick up that order at the time the crime was committed. So we need to quickly erase that and remove that from the actual written statement. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors at any police station. We don't. Regardless if you're a law-abiding citizen of the police force, which in my personal opinion these days is very rare to find, but how much of your statement's actually going to be truthful with what you're saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I wasn't there, or you could say, oh, I was there, but I ordered Uber Eats for the McDonald's breakfast for everybody. How much of that's actually going to get in? Like, there's ways to back people up that are innocent, but they're still being wrongly convicted. And I
Yep.
think it's very, very sad that still happens to this day, because people out there are being wrongly convicted for crimes they didn't do. And in the meantime, like I said, if I was a police officer, I could easily go to someone and say, oh, hey, you're under arrest for speeding, when all I want is to get them pay back for them for the fact that the cops never had my back when I wanted to get them on assault charges. Or, you know what I mean? Like, it just, for me personally, when someone is arrested, like I said before, you need to have ironclad information, not this concrete proof shit, because concrete can break. Something like
Yes.
iron can't necessarily break in a hurry. So if you're going to be arresting this BK dude, you need to make sure that like 1 minute it's his car, then it's not his car, then it's his car again, then it's like we found a sheath here next to the person, but then, oh, hang on a second, no, we found it under a person. Let that guy go, release him, and if you're going to be putting someone in jail until you actually find ironclad proof, then put them in jail. Don't put them in a jail system where they're going to be possibly killed and find out later down the track, oh, they weren't responsible, or beaten so severely that they end up with brain damage. Oh, but that's okay. They'll pass away, and then we will reward the family $20 million. And like I said, hope the problem
Yeah,
goes away.
exactly.
Like, people will say, why did Michael Jackson pay off the people he paid off? Because he wanted the problem to go away.
Yep.
Okay, that's the bottom line with Michael Jackson. He wanted the problem to go away, and he wanted just to continue making music and continue doing what he was doing. But unfortunately, people took it as him paying it off was to basically silence the victims, and instead he just wanted the problem to go away. And that's the problem with this day and age, is that famous people or regular people, if you've got money in your pocket and it's enough to make your pocket bulge, so to speak, you can buy yourself out of pretty much any situation. But if you are caught paying someone off because you want the problem to go away for a crime you didn't do, you're still getting accused of being guilty because you're paying for it to go away.
Exactly.
And I'm not a massive, huge, out there buy posters and pine over the Michael Jackson fan, but my heart goes out to him because of yes, he's passed away. I get that. But what I'm saying is, he was from the moment that first person came out and said, Michael Jackson did this to me, and then they brought out that horrible documentary, Leaving Neverland. And from the moment that was released, I watched it and I was disgusted, because I was like, but hang on a second. You say something happened to you at the train, but the train thing wasn't built until several years after the fact that you said it happened. So how's
Yep.
that work? And then these two people claim that Michael Jackson did all these things. Now, if he did, he would have been found guilty. But the thing is, though, they did that documentary, and the thing that pissed me off, and I'm not an Oprah Winfrey fan either. I fucking hate that woman. And the fact that she claims that she was in support of Michael Jackson, she loved him and all that sort of stuff, and she admired for what he did. But then no sooner than that documentary was released, she goes and interviews the two fuckwits that accused him of what he did, even though they were following around Michael Jackson like a bad smell.
Exactly.
You know? So I'm like, hang on a second, what proof do you actually have? Now, if Michael Jackson was guilty of any of that, there's no way they would have let the police take a picture of certain parts of his body. There's no way in the world. And I'm sorry, but I get so fucking angry when people get falsely accused of shit and then they're eventually released, whether they're okay or not, they're released, but they've got that brand because the paparazzi in America and Australia, wherever, ridicules them so fucking badly that even if they are found innocent, they're never given a fair chance in life again, because they're always going to be looked at as that, like, what's his fucking name? Wayne, whatever his fucking name is, Wayne Safechuck or whatever it is.
Yeah.
He's always going to be looked at as the backup singer that Britney Spears slept with.
Yeah.
And then when he released Leaving Neverland, when they released that, he was known as the child who stayed quiet for all those years. Oh my God, he is so brave. Fuck off, he's brave. If you thought that he had done that by you staying quiet, dude, you allowed it, if it did happen, you allowed it to happen to other children by staying quiet. He was in court, you denied anything happened to you. You wait until he is dead before you start actually speaking up. That's going to do nothing for it now. That's going to do nothing for the countless other kids that if he did hurt, it does nothing for them. You did that Leaving Neverland documentary because you wanted to stay relevant. That is the only reason. And if Michael Jackson had done what he said, you say he did to you, why the fuck would you want to produce a production of his music and everything like that after he died? Why did you go to the Jackson family and say you wanted to do that?
It's one of those weird things.
No, I just get very, very angry when people like this BK guy, if he is guilty of what people are saying he is, find the proof.
It's still, obviously they haven't released all the evidence yet because it's under gag order. But I take issue with them relying on touch DNA for an arrest.
Yeah, touch DNA is fucked. And that's bring as nicely as I can.
And I also take issue with the genealogy. I mean, that's dicey. I mean, they don't really have any strong laws for it. So it's just, there needs to be strong laws to protect people's privacy, but at the moment...
Yeah, but genealogy is basically like, for me, this is how I interpret genealogy, and you can tell me if I'm stupid for thinking this. you can get genealogy and you can say, okay, well, Jack Smith is connected to Rhonda and Harold and Madge and Charlene and Scott and all those people. You're going to bring those people into a situation that hypothetically, like I said, let's say like the person I'm talking about is Harold here. He's the one
Yeah.
that's been accused of something. And then you go find the family. What happens if Harold was adopted out?
Yep.
You are bringing a family into a situation. They gave up that child because for whatever fucking reason. You are
Yeah.
bringing that family who wanted nothing to do with that child for however many years. You are bringing that family into a situation they want nothing to do with. You are
Bingo.
bringing a family into something that they don't really want to be a part of. You're bringing that family into something that they've got no right to be a part of. Yes, they share DNA with that person, but that doesn't mean they're connected to that person or they know that person on a day in, day out basis.
Yep, exactly.
So I
Right,
think it's
Cameron.
absolutely disgusting with Touch DNA that they use the genealogy shit, because at the end of the day, you don't know, like no one. Okay, put it this way: if I was to
Oh,
adopt a child tomorrow,
and
what?
get this. Guess
Hmm?
how many motions the defense has had to file to request discovery from the prosecution?
How many?
10. 10
All right.
motions to compel discovery. 10. Not 2,
That's
not 3, not 4, 10. I mean, if that's just, I mean, it could be a delaying tactic, but I doubt it because they've waived the speedy trial now. But I'm sorry, asking for, why should the defense have to ask 10 times for like the data? They were granted, it took what, 8 motions and then for a judge to decide on the grand jury indictment. And then that was dicey as well, because one of the
Mike, okay,
jurors
here's a question I have for you though.
yeah.
All right, okay. What proof did they honestly have, apart from obviously Touch DNA? That's all they've got to indict potentially an innocent person.
Well, they found gloves, a trash bag, vacuum full of stuff like dog hairs that are supposedly from one of the victim's dogs, but they've never clarified that in the documents we have so far. But even then, if he's a student and he say he went to that house to have a drink or whatever and didn't kill anyone, he still could have got that stuff on his clothes. I
Yeah, well,
mean,
that's exactly right. Because
it's
I have a friend who was with a girl who she only had one cat, but anytime he would go to her house, he would always end up with cat hair on his clothes.
yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, also they've got his Amazon purchases for a knife, but how many people in that area like would like? There's like huntings, a lot of huntings like could have bought that knife, and it's just like, even if he did do it, I like, let's say all the evidence comes out in trial, if it ever gets to public trial, and we see all the evidence and he did it, right? I'm not going to say I'm iffy because there is still a lot of evidence being withheld, but I take issue with, regardless of whether he's guilty or innocent, I take issue with how they arrested him. Like, seriously, if you can arrest someone on just that, how many potentially innocent people have been arrested on flimsy junk science DNA?
Yeah, well, Jody just wrote
DNA.
then. Sorry, Jody just wrote, his car was in the area, his phone pinging in the area at the time of the murders. How many other people's phones pinged in that area?
Well, yeah, exactly.
How many other people live in that area that are actually convicted criminals?
It's a fraternity, so there's plenty of others. But like I said, we don't know the comparative
Mm.
data. Like I said,
Oh,
for
hey, guess what?
trial,
I just
what?
realised something. If a crime happens in my area, right, and I happen, not that I drive, again, I don't drive, guys. What happens if I'm in an area where a crime is committed and it's against someone I don't like, and because my phone pinged in the area and my car, similar to my car, was in the area, does that mean that I'm going to be held accountable for that person being
It
killed?
could do.
Just because it pinged in the, I'm sorry to swear, I'm not going to say sorry for swearing because you all know that and love me for swearing. Here's the thing
Well,
that fucking upsets me though. Just because his phone I'm going to ignore the car thing at the moment, Jody, sorry. But just because his phone pinged in the area. Now, the area I live in, okay, from walking distance, I can be in 3 different suburbs. All right.
yep.
If I chose to walk, which I won't. But if when I'd get off the bus near my home, I would actually be in a different area. I would walk past about 3 steps past the bus stop, and guess what? I would then be in my area. Now,
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
exactly.
I don't give a fuck if a phone pings in the area. If the phone pings at the place of where the crime's been committed, then by all means, call
Well,
me in for questioning. But if it pings in the area, grow feathers and shit in a fucking tree, cops, because you haven't got anything on me. Like, I live alone. So if a
well,
crime's committed in my area and I'm accused for it, I've got no one to say, oh, she was at home with me all night. I've got no one to back me up on that. I can't say I was at home sleeping.
well,
Unless I'm doing a live, I've got nothing to back me fucking up.
in the Murdoch case, they
Mm.
secured a conviction based on data, entirely on data. Now, in that case, that POS is guilty. No doubt it. No question in my mind. But
Yeah.
unless they can prove at trial that they legitimately ruled out or explained their odds and comparative data analysis by an expert, I still don't think, for me, that's enough.
I think personally, like I said,
But then I'm a stickler for these things.
Now you've got to remember as well, though. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is worldwide. Okay, now this is going to be me being nosy to you, Mac, but you can tell me it's none of my business, and I'll completely respect it. The reason I'm asking Mac this is because she's within Australia. Okay, you could just say yes or no to this. Are you with Optus?
No.
Okay, so if you were to visit me, right, here in Adelaide, you're welcome to anytime, you know that. Or you do now. What I'm saying is that, okay, hypothetically, let's say you're with Vodafone, right? You come and visit me because I'm with Optus. Optus Towers would pick up that I'm in Hope Valley, which is my area. I don't care to admit that. But yeah, if you're here, you might get your phone registered that you're in Modbury because that's the Vodafone tower closest to your phone network.
Hey, Tammy.
All right.
TJ's here.
Hey, TJ, how you doing, sweetheart?
Hey, TJ.
Thank you.
We're just talking about wrongful convictions and a bit of Idaho 4.
So here we go. I'm actually talking true crime. See, I said don't have a channel called True Crime. I discuss true crime. But like I said, so what would happen is if
My
you
fault.
could be, it's all good, doll. You could be sitting right next to me on the couch, right? Your area of saying where you are, because you're with a different phone network. And I'm sorry if I was being prying by asking you that. I'm with Optus. Don't really care who knows that either. My point being, though, is the fact that mine will say if you go and say, for example, search location or set nearby friends or something on Facebook. What could happen is, like I said, you could be sitting right next to me and mine will say Hope Valley. Yours, no doubt, will say Modbury.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying is how they want to. And that's the same with the Kessinger saying that her phone pinged in the area. Doesn't mean that every single person in America or every single person in the world is with the same network, so they go from the same fucking tower. Okay, so when they say he was in the area, he could have been about 3 or 4 suburbs away, but that was the closest tower to his network.
Well, exactly, but Jody is right. There is car footage, but it's not.
Car footage of a car. Okay, so
No,
is there
like
footage?
driving around in the area. That there is
Can you actually
footage of
make
that,
out that it's
but
BK driving?
well, no, you can't. Like the footage is like it's
Grainy?
surveillance footage. I mean, come on, it's not high definition.
Then guess what? Release him until you find proof that he was actually at the house. Were they? Were they? I'll use the proper term now. Were they unalived by knife?
Yes.
Okay, so if you found his car, did you find any trace of blood in his car that was found that belonged to any of the people that passed away?
Not
I'm going to
that
go
we
with
know
no.
of. Not that we know of, and I'm pretty sure if it's I'd have to go over the documents again, but I'm pretty sure his car had nothing was found in it.
Thank you, Jody. She goes, I could talk true crime all day.
Who, me?
Me or both of us were a good duo.
Well, we could, yeah, just not that case all day because I just get too angry with it.
But, yeah, but like I said, I just don't understand how someone. Okay, so he supposedly. How many people did this person supposedly injure, as well as unalive?
Well, he didn't injure. Like as far as we know, he didn't. This is another thing I have with the roommates. They weren't injured, right? So I'm like,
Well, she's saying she could talk true crime all day. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know. They could be traumatized, but I'm not. Maybe it's just me being like trained in the area. I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying it. But that's just me. And the fact they lawyered up so quick,
yeah,
that's always a bit of a red flag to me. Yeah, like, yeah, really sus, but okay. For now, I'll let it just simmer in the back of my mind because I know some people might. It's very controversial because it's like talking bad about one of the Watts victims. You know, people just lose their brains, like really lose their brains, and I'm like, seriously, it's not a closed case. You know, these people are survivors. You know, we don't have all the information. We don't have the transcripts of their interviews. And the fact now that they want to don't want to show at a trial, I believe it's being claimed that they don't want to go to the trial, or it's from one of the victims' families, so it's not, I don't know how much stock truth there is in it.
But how many people did he supposedly, okay, trigger warning coming up, how many people did he supposedly stab?
4, and killed them. 4? They all died.
Oh, they all died? Okay, so you're going to tell me that stabbing 4 people left no blood splatter on his chest, no blood on his hands, no blood on his pants, shoes, nothing. Hear me out before you interrupt, sorry. They found he stabbed and killed 4 people. You're going to tell me that there was not a single drop of, okay, they said they saw his car. Okay, you saw a car. You didn't see his car because you didn't see him driving. You're going to tell me that he was able to, in some way or form, he was able to get from killing those people to go clean up, leave no fingerprints or anything, but then he was able to get into his car and then suddenly start driving around with not one single pin drop of blood found in his car that belonged to any of the victims. That is the only way they could have got him and arrested him, in my opinion. That's the only way they could have got a conviction. If they found traces of blood of all 4 victims in his car on him.
Well,
at the time.
Apparently he was wearing some sort of bodysuit or something, but even if he covered himself head to toe in a garbage bag, that blood would still get on him, like, you know.
Oh,
and it's
Jodie's saying, well, she saw. Sorry, Jodie's just written here that and one of the other roommates saw him in the dark walking out. Okay, so they saw him in the dark.
Yeah,
that could have been anybody.
That could have been anybody. So that's a bit I would say
You and
that
Mac
the
and I
defense.
can be in a dark room and we can walk out of the room together, and then you're going to try, because I don't know Mac's body shape and it's none of my business. But what I'm saying is I could be half asleep, and what? I could have 3 people here and I could see one, like I've got friends who have long hair. I have friends who have short hair. I have friends, all sorts of friends. What I'm saying is that, well, I'm going to open up one of my eyes and go, oh, I saw Mac walking out of the room and saying someone with bushy eyebrows. I don't
Oh
wax
yeah, the
my
bushy
eyebrows too
eyebrows.
much.
I got a laugh out of that the first time I heard it.
I've got bushy. When I wax oh my God, when I've got my eyebrows waxed in the past, like if I've got a stray hair, my brother will pluck it out of my fucking head, and oh my
Wow.
fucking God, I want to smack him. But the point being is I don't get my eyebrows waxed anymore because it fucking hurts too much. But the point I'm making is the
Too
fact that,
expensive too.
yeah, tell me about it. $25 just to get your eyebrows waxed. So it's like 35 just to get your legs
25.
done. I'm
Geez,
like,
that's on
get
the cheaper end.
Oh, I usually go to the TAFE and they usually fuck it up, but I don't see anybody, so I don't really give a fuck. But
Oh,
my
fair
point
enough.
being, so somebody saw him walk out, unless he had a torch placed under his chin and goes, oh, booga, 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 it's me. How would she know for an absolute definite fact that it was him? She saw someone with bushy eyebrows. I'm sorry, 99.99% of the community in this world have bushy fucking eyebrows.
Well, yeah,
Not
exactly.
everybody's got to go get their fucking eyebrows manicured.
And we
Fuck.
don't know whether he was identified in a lineup or anything like that. We don't even have the transcript of his interview with the police. Now tell me, isn't
We don't
that
have
weird?
anything.
Oh no, we have stuff, but like,
No, what I'm saying is anything that we could look at, like if you and I were to look at the documents and stuff,
yeah,
mind you, I wouldn't be able to read it for shit. But what I'm saying is the fact that you could look at it from, say, a lawyer standpoint, and I can look at it as a, what do you call it? An everyday person,
yeah.
non-lawyer person,
Oh, they
and I
call
can
it a
look at it
lay
through
person.
a what person?
In law school, they call it a lay person. Like when you're a lawyer, you actually have to be able to translate. Like literally, they tell you this: translate legal speak into lay person speak.
Yeah,
It's not easy.
so yeah,
It's the
but
same language, but
yeah, but you see, you can look at it, like I said, what I'm saying is you can look at documents and you can look at it from a lawyer standpoint, where I could just look at it as an everyday non-lawyer person, and I can draw a different conclusion from what you read. You
yeah,
read it from what
exactly.
you read and you come to your conclusion. I read it from I wish I could think Samaritan. An everyday Samaritan, I can read it as that. You read it as you can read it as a lawyer. Like for me, if I'm given a document to read, like give me time to fucking focus. But what I'm saying is the fact that I'll read it and I'll read what's written on. I won't necessarily. I read what's on the lines, yes, but then I read what's between it that's not actually there.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
know people
What's
probably
not
think
said.
that's a stupid thing to do,
It's not
but
what's said, it's what's not said.
exactly. Like I find that it's absolutely disgusting that people, oh, what she saw him walking out, like she knew for 100% certainty it was him. Now, okay, what
But
proof do you have that it was him? Now,
exactly, like,
if she wants to say if she wants to say it was what he was wearing, I hate to be the bearer of bad news to that particular person, but manufacturers have this thing. What they do, right, is that they make more than one of a particular item.
yeah,
I'm sorry,
right.
not everybody out
Good
there
point.
has one of. Like I could say, for example, I
No,
own
I
a blue
meant that.
dress.
Good point, Tammy.
Yeah, thank you. Like, say, for example, you own a blue dress and I own a blue dress, right? But then again, you can't have a blue dress because I own it and I'm older. So, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the manufacturers thought, oh, hang on a second, this might actually sell quite well. We might actually make more than one.
Yeah, bingo.
You know what I mean? I don't know a single person apart from Elvis Presley who ever had a one of something clothing wise. You know, like no one else out there, as far as I know, ever owned a jumpsuit that had an eagle on it and then had a cape that had the big American eagle on it. I don't know anybody else out there who, at the time, mind you, he was it was about 9 years before I was born, but I don't know anyone out there in that era that I've seen perform have that same costume.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
therefore, if I saw someone walking out of a room with, at that time, if I was alive and I saw someone walking out of a room with a jumpsuit that had an eagle and a cape and it had a massive American eagle spread across the fucking cape, then by all means, I'd be able to say, oh, I know for absolute certainty that that was Elvis Presley.
Oh, yeah, bingo.
So
Yeah.
why is she? How would, if it was in the dark? All right, it's
Who knows?
what Jodie is saying. How could she be absolutely 110% sure just
Well,
because she saw him walking out in the dark that she knew it was him?
well, yeah. The fact is that they went to the. One of the reasons they did a grand jury is because they didn't want the witnesses to go through a preliminary hearing. And I'm like, that's dicey, but whatever. I can live with that. But they didn't tell the public that until after the fact, which was a bit sus. But
I personally, from what you're telling me, I don't think BK is if BK is the person who's being accused, I don't think he is guilty of anything. I think if he is guilty of anything, I think it's being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I personally don't think it's right that they should have him in jail if he's innocent. Like, I'm sorry, but if you're going to be convicted of something and there's still circumstantial evidence that could prove otherwise, there needs to be a facility created where people go that, okay, we're not sure if you're guilty, but we're almost certain that you are. But until you go to trial, you're going to go to this facility and you're actually going to be, you're going to be protected. Because what's going to happen is he's found innocent, which I hope he is.
Well,
and that would be a big smack in the head to them. Sorry.
But I wouldn't be surprised if he gets, even if the prosecution presents a decent argument at trial, I won't be surprised if he gets off on appeal. Just because
I hope he does.
how they messed up the start of the investigation.
Well, if those, okay, that's another thing. You fuck up an investigation, release him from where he could potentially be killed. Because you think about this girl who saw him walking out in the dark, what's to say that she wasn't a scorned ex-lover of his?
Well,
or
yeah,
a woman that she wanted to hook up with him and he rejected her, and he apparently rejected her one too many times. And this is her way of getting payback.
And
sorry,
yeah.
I'm very, very vocal when it comes to this stuff.
No worries.
Sorry.
But,
it just makes me so angry.
Yeah, what was I going to say? And the other thing is the double jeopardy rule. By messing these critical things up, and he did do it. Let's say he did do it, right? But because they stuffed up so early in the investigation, and he appeals and he's successful, and the charges are dropped, because
they can't retry him.
Exactly. So this is what they're doing is wrong, whether you believe he's guilty or not. Because if he's guilty, you've made loopholes for him to get out of by stuffing it up at the start.
Exactly.
And if he's innocent, you could be putting an innocent man to death.
Exactly.
So it's a fucked up.
Oh, is he actually facing the death penalty if he's found guilty?
Yeah, he's facing the death penalty.
Oh, fuck. I didn't know that part. Shit. Well, let's just hope that, Okay, now here's a question. Okay, so what? Like I said before, this particular girl, one of the other roommates, male or female, I'm not sure who, saw him walking out this is the part that stumps me, in the dark. So, okay, so if I put my
idea.
So if I put my camera on and turn off my lounge room light where I'm sitting, and I say, you know it's me because you know I live alone now, but if you didn't, would you be able to honestly tell me that you know for a fact that it's me walking out of the room? I'm going to go with no. She saw bushy eyebrows. Like I said before, how many people, I know so many people out there that have bushy eyebrows. That is the most, I'm sorry, unreliable, fucked up fucking witness thing that you could possibly
Well-
ever throw at me and say, oh, she saw him walking out in the dark. Well, fucking okay. I don't know about you, but my vision isn't very good at any time. But
Yeah.
it's even worse when it's dark. I'm not looking out my bedroom and going, oh, I heard a noise. Okay, I'm going to open my eyes now and look into my
Hey,
pitch
Tammy.
black lounge room and see what I see. That's fucking pathetic.
Exactly.
How can they consider
Hey.
that a weakness fucking person?
Hey, Tammy, can we continue this on another live? Because I've got to go. I'm tired.
No,
Like,
that's okay.
I've
We'll
closed
continue at
my
another time.
eyes
That's
and
fine,
stuff.
Duff. Yeah, I've got to
Yeah,
go get
we'll
sleep
talk a
myself
bit
soon.
more wrongful convictions next time.
Yeah, for
with
sure.
Tammy.
Definitely. Thank you for coming
All
up.
right, so have a good night, everyone. Sorry I couldn't stay longer. I'm just so tired. And I think I've held you up long enough too, Tammy. So
No, that's okay. I'm going to head off to go call my brother because I need to discuss a few things with him. So, yeah.
But yeah, look into
And
the Idaho.
bushy means like hairy, like really overgrown and shit, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so look into Idaho. Like,
Yeah,
just
I
casually
definitely
read an
will. I'll create a
article or two
playlist
about
and
it.
listen to it as I go off to sleep.
Yeah. Just
All right, well, you have a good night and have
you
pleasant
too.
dreams
You
with
too.
your
I
air
could talk
conditioner.
about. Oh, actually, I haven't plugged it in yet because the cord. I need to get an extension cord because there's only one power point in my room.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, well, they're cheap enough to pick up from Kmart, so you'll be good.
Yeah, exactly. I'll have to go there tomorrow and pick it up.
All right, well, then you have a good night's sleep.
Good night,
Okay,
Cammy.
later, Tater.
See ya. See ya.
See you, darling.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, man. Thank you, Jody. I'm sorry. I'm just very passionate when it comes to really crap eyewitnesses to stuff, and it just makes me quite angry. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up, guys, because I need to get on the phone to my brother before he falls asleep, and then I've got to wait till tomorrow to talk to him. But anyway, all of you take care. Thank you so much for whoever stuck around. Thank you for everyone who came, excuse me, into chat. Thank you, Bubsy. Thank you, Mac, both for joining me on panel. I much appreciate it. And yeah, if you like, I'm not saying it sounds dramatic, and I'm sorry to bring it up, but if you feel like you want to donate, please do to my PayPal. All of it helps me. And whether you want to or not, please tune in to my next live because I'm not sure when that will be, and I've got to work in with Mac when we continue with our wrongful conviction stories. Because, like I said, it's absolutely disgusting that people arrest people because it's on a theory. Things need to be ironclad before they do anything. Thank you. You're very welcome, Mac. You're welcome up anytime, darling. Hey, Elizabeth's in the ER. Oh, honey, I'll give you a call later as well, or tomorrow, because I've got to call my brother about Christmas Day. But yes, I'm just, if anyone does want to join me on panel next time and talk about wrongful convictions, everybody is welcome. As long as, yeah, I do, as everybody knows and loves me for, I do swear quite a bit when I go live, and when I'm passionate, it's very hard to not swear. But like I said, I think that what needs to happen is that the justice system needs to take a good hard look at themselves and think, can we convict somebody on a technicality? And I'm going to go with no. But that's just my opinion. Everything I say on here is my opinion and my opinion alone. When people have opinions in chat, like Jody, thank you so much for helping Mac out while she was on panel. I really appreciate that, sweetheart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to everyone, like I said, that came into my live tonight. And thank you to everybody who came up on panel, which was Mac J and Bubsy. So thank you both so much for coming up on panel and keeping me company. Going forward with my channel, I'd like to have more discussions with this, but do me a favor, if you're planning on coming up on panel, please know that when it comes to certain things that you talk about and stuff, that I'm very passionate about certain things. So if I get a little bit loud, it's not me yelling at you, it's not me disagreeing with you or anything like that, because again, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I want everybody to know that I'm very passionate when it comes to wrongful convictions and stuff, because not that I've ever been involved with anyone who's been wrongly convicted, but I know that there are people out there who haven't been convicted of crimes that they deserve to be convicted for, and deserve to be rotting in a jar and fed stale bread and dirty water for the rest of their lives. Oh, hang on a second. Someone's coming up on panel. Who's coming up? Okay, I'm not. Hello, my darling.
Hi.
Are you there? Hey, how you feeling?
Okay. I'm tired, but all right. How are
Yeah,
you?
I'm okay. Surviving.
I'm glad I caught you. Sorry, I'm not
Yeah.
much help tonight, but
Did you hear much of the live?
just the last little bit I have.
Oh, okay. We're talking about wrongful
Wrongful
convictions.
convictions, which is an
Yeah.
awesome topic.
And I think that I'll continue that with the next live if Mac is up to being here next time I do it. So anyone else who has got a wrongful conviction story and they wish to talk about it, they're welcome to come up on panel too.
That's good.
So may I ask, so then that way I could remember, hang on. Oh, Max admitting that she started with the Idaho 4, but then I went on a massive rant with it. Like how people think that if someone pays a situation, like someone off for something, they think that they're guilty instead of that they just want the problem to go away. And yeah, I talked a little bit about Michael Jackson with that. So it's funny. I get rid of my
I
true
think
crime
it's a
discussions
great
channel, and
topic.
then yeah,
It's real interesting, and it's amazing how many people that are wrongfully convicted just do the time and don't really complain. You'd think that if you were innocent you would just throw a shit fit and just go crazy, but there's no sense in going crazy until you can get it all solved, I guess, figured out. But
yeah. But it's just sad
and
though
I
that
love
people. Pardon?
sorry I'm
No,
sorry
go on.
I just think it's so wonderful how people don't hold grudges about it. They just seem to keep fighting and finally get out, and then they're just like so happy they're out and they are not mad. I think you'd want to sue everybody and their dog and just be, you know,
Yeah.
vindictive or angry or hurtful, and a lot of people aren't.
Yeah, but it's just so fucked up though that there are people out there that are.
It is effed up. You're right.
Oh man, I forget you're in Sorry, Elizabeth's in hospital, and I'm not sure if she's in her own room or
I'm in
anything.
a
But I'm
private
swearing
room.
that the
I'm in a
doctors are
private
coming in.
room.
You got your own private room? Okay, you got
Yeah.
to just
Yep.
clear your throat if a doctor comes in as I'm swearing. But what I'm saying is, what I find fucked up is the fact that there are people out there who get wrongly convicted and then they're found innocent and then they're released. But those people are just so not angry about it. And I'm like, if I was accused of, say, stabbing someone to death, sorry, trigger,
Right. No, I'm with you.
I would want vengeance on it. I would want to find the son
Mm-hmm.
of a bitch who accused me of it and fucking find out and not hurt them, but gently but forcibly shake the fuck out of them and going, why
But
did you
it's so
accuse me?
wonderful that these people don't become vindictive and they don't sue crazy
I
and they
know, but
don't.
I admire
It's
those people, but
I
I'm not
do
like
too.
that.
No, I'm
You
not.
know,
I
but
don't think I would be. Well, I would. I just I've learned through my life that you can be accused of something that you haven't done. You can be charged with something you haven't done. I've learned to not. I don't think I'd ever want to be interrogated by anybody because, and that the police and the law enforcement, they can lie, they can
yeah, I mentioned that as
oh
well earlier in the live. Like, how much of a statement when the police give you a like you give a statement to the police. I was saying this before about how much of that statement that you give them is actually included. Like, so for example, he could have that BK dude. He could have easily said, "I went to the McDonald's to get breakfast for everybody or a late night snack for everybody." And the thing is, though, because the police are so hell bent on getting a conviction for this dude that they're not looking for the person who's actually responsible. So what they're going to do is the fact they're going to go, okay, he said he was at McDonald's. All right. Okay. Now here's the thing, though. We can actually go get CT video footage and prove that he was there. And then we've got to start all over again with finding who actually did the crime. So therefore, we're going to leave that and we're going to edit that out of the video because we don't know if they do that. And he could
hmm
easily say, well, I said this. And they're like, well, no, you didn't. It's not in your statement. You know what I mean? So you got
yeah,
to, how many cops out there are actually on the level of actually being like
very
proper,
few, I think.
pardon?
And that's sad to say. It's sad to even think that it could be true, but you know and I
Mm,
get it, they're looking to convict people and they're looking to get you to spill your guts, but that conniving, sneaky, lying, deceitful way is not the way I prefer. Me, I'm a straight up
Mm.
shooter. I like to know what's going on. Just level with me. I can
Yeah,
handle anything, just don't feed me bullshit.
yeah, but I just find it really, really fucking sad that people do get wrongly convicted, and
Oh yeah,
some
and
of
how
those
many
people are
years of their
fucking
life?
never
You
the
don't get
same.
that time back. How many people
Exactly.
haven't lost their parents or their children or other relatives or friends during a lovely stay at the chateau?
Oh yeah. Like me personally, I think it's absolutely disgusting. I think, like I said before, until you find something ironclad, that no one should be like in a jail with all the other tough nuts.
Yeah.
Like those, like I said before, the garbage bags that were found at the crime scene of the Watts case, the garbage bags that were found at the burial site of Shanann and where the tanks were. No one's fingerprint, no, Shanann's fingerprints and Chris's fingerprints did not match the fingerprints that were found on the garbage bags, but yet they didn't fingerprint anybody else in that case. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to
Mm-hmm.
fingerprint people, Chris, you're going to have to fingerprint. And by the way, I think you muted. No, you haven't. I thought you muted yourself. I just don't understand how they can say, oh, well, they didn't match Shanann, they didn't match Chris. But hang on a second. There's the mistress, there's his work colleagues, there's Atkinson, there's all these people that we can honestly fingerprint. But, hang on a second, we don't need to, because we're adamant that Chris is responsible for this crime. So we're going to just ignore that fact, that bit of what could have potentially been crucial evidence. The garbage bags matched the garbage bags that were found under the sink in Chris and Shanann's home. Because the fingerprints didn't match Chris and they didn't match Shanann, you didn't bother figuring out, oh, hang on, there's other people we can check. Oh, no, that's right. You're not going to do that because you're so hell-bent on convicting Chris.
I hate to do this, Tammy. As much as I want to stay and keep talking, I'm gonna get off.
No, that's okay, honey. I'll give you a call tomorrow my time because I want you to
That
get
sounds
some
good.
proper rest, all right?
I'm hoping I can get home soon. I really am. But
Well,
I'm
hopefully
where
you,
I need to be. So
yeah, well, you can message me and tell me what is it with your pneumonia, or has it gotten worse, or just tell me that much?
it's the heart failure that's causing the trouble right now, naturally, as usual, per usual.
Well, hopefully they can give you proper fucking meds this time.
They're doing the best they can. I'm glad to be here in a sick way, but
Night, Mac.
but I'm
All right,
gonna
honey.
get
Well, you
off
go get
and
some rest and I'll call you
try
tomorrow.
to get the girls up. I'm trying to get them to
I
know
spoke
that
to
you're
Mia
on.
earlier today and she gave me the heads up and everything, so.
Oh, good. Okay. And Misty was tired, but she had a busy day yesterday. I'll fill you in. A lot
All
going on.
right. Well, I'll hear all about that when I speak to you next, and you just focus on yourself and don't worry about
Has
anybody else.
Foxy shown up? The Foxy lady? She's
Oh,
probably sleeping too.
you just focus on yourself at the moment, hun, okay? And get
I
yourself
like
better.
the
And
distractions. Thank you very kindly. So I'm very
okay.
glad that you were live. So you kept me
Yeah,
occupied.
well,
I'm going to get off and get down and listen. I won't
oh,
be
I'm going to wrap
modding
it up.
because, okay. All right.
All right. Take care, honey. Love you. Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs and cats, mice and rats, I am going to wrap this up and I am going to call it a night. Elizabeth, did you want me to drop you down? I'm removing her from stream, even though she didn't say yes or no, because I am going to end this live. As I said before she popped up, if you wish to donate to my PayPal, please do so. If you can't, then don't worry about it. It's all good. Just relax. Just take it easy. My next live will be, I don't know when. I've got to work in with Mac because we're going to be doing wrongful convictions again. If you want to come up and join us, feel free to. But please know that, like I said before, Elizabeth came up. It's all about opinions, and sometimes I get a little bit over the top, and I do apologise if anyone was upset about that. You too, Elizabeth, and focus on getting better, sweetheart, and I love you heaps. Best wishes, Elizabeth. Purple hearts for Elizabeth in chat, guys. But yeah, so anyway, I'm going to go because, like I said, I've got to go call my brother. Everybody take care of yourselves. Be good. And just because you see something, and when I say something, doesn't mean it's always right. So until next time, guys, take it easy. Don't be so hard on yourself. And remember to love the life you live. Bye.